What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? I'm back. I am back. Whoo, man. What I miss? What I miss? Happy Sunday, first of all. Glad to, glad to be back. You know, I, it was an unintentional hiatus because I was trying to fix my setup and it turned out to be a cord that was wrong or messed up. But long story short, I'm back. I'm here. Got my tea. It's lemon raspberry today. So come on in, get cozy. It's Sunday, so we're just gonna chat a little bit today about. It's been a week or so I've got quite a bit to update. Just life stuff and things in general. So grab a seat, get cozy. There's a blanket right there, and a sofa. So come on in and just relax, breathe in, breathe deep. Hopefully everything looks alright on your end. If hopefully everything sounds good too. I don't know. But yeah. Happy Sunday. I have returned. I didn't really. It's not like I went anywhere. You know, I'm literally in the same house. Like this is my home. So I've been here the whole time. But yeah, I had to get a cord for the setup. So that's what happened on that. How you been? How's life? What you up to today? Anybody doing anything fun today? Anybody miss me? I'm always curious because I don't know. You can't. It's like you can't really miss yourself, right? So I don't know what people think of me when I'm not around. You know, that's something that I always harken back to. Is like, so you know when you like enjoy someone's presence, you know, or enjoy being around somebody. And there's like a missing piece when they're not there. Am I that for anybody? Like, does anybody like miss my energy or the space that I take up when I'm not there? You know, like if my friends go out, I don't really go out, but like if my friends go out and like they invited me out and I don't show up, do they miss me? Or are they like, man, I wish Chris would have came today? I don't know. Let me see. Let me make sure everything's looking good because I'm getting some weird stuff over on my end. So let's see. Let's see if you guys can see my face. If not, it's cool. It's alright. Um, Interesting. Why isn't it? Hmm. It's like stuck on this screen. Let me see if I can fix that for you guys. Let me see. Let me see. Maybe I can. Weird. I'm still here. Just bear with me, y'all. Always something, right? Always something. Always something. It's like you can hear my voice, but you can't. Hmm. Maybe. I don't know. Let me see. Let me check one more time, guys. Sorry. Hold. I apologize. I apologize. Let me see. Are we back? Interesting. This is kind of interesting. Okay, so it's not receiving all of the stuff. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hope that it comes back up at some point. If it does not, then I guess this is just gonna be an audio stream. So that's probably for the best too, because I was up a little late last night, so maybe I look a little rough. So yeah, let me know if it doesn't end up like coming back. Hopefully it will. But yeah, maybe it just might be an audio stream then. We thought we fixed it out, boys, but no dice. So maybe this will be the ASMR stream where I'll drink tea and just talk about nonsense. But yeah, that's I don't know if I like that. That kind of stinks. But it is what it is. It is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. What have I been up to this last week? Not a whole lot. I've got into a very creative mode. I remember I talked to you guys about the project I'm writing. I ended up sending it to the person that I want to collaborate with, and so I'm just waiting for them. I don't want to like proceed with my stuff until I get his feedback and see what his thoughts are and if he wants to collab. But so I put that on hold just for maybe a week or two. So it's like when I have what's the word I'm looking for? When I have a kind of a hole in my creative heart that usually is filled up by this writing, I fill it with something else. So this is I've made quite a few songs, over the past few weeks or a week. I think I've made like maybe 5 or 6 songs in a week, which is I go on these spurts where like I can write, a dozen songs in a few weeks span. And so that's what I'm doing now is I'm just overloading the music. So keep an eye out like real soon. Within this week, hopefully, I'll have maybe 1 or 2 songs I'll put up on here on YouTube. Just kind of, because it's been a minute. It's been what? Maybe a year? Maybe 8 or 9 months since I've put out anything, music-wise. So I want to do that, and let me try one more thing. Let me reset this. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. But so yeah, I want to put out some of that stuff. So keep an eye out for that. It's gonna be kind of the new direction I'm going into. It's still vibey. It's still kind of goth hoppy, but it's kind of fun. And for those who do end up listening to it, it's very heavily inspired by Galimatias. I think that's how you say his name. His it's an artist. I was just listening to him today. Galimatias or Galimatias. But he's like the real cool. I mean, he makes some really good music. And it's also inspired by Summer Walker. I'm doing this thing on this one where there's it's shorter songs, 2-minute songs, but they're just bops. So that's very Summer Walker-esque. But so yeah, be looking out this week. I'm actually gonna shoot some footage tonight when the sun gets a little lower for like the vision I'm kind of going for this project. But yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be fun. I hope you guys like it. I like it. So it's still not. It's still. I can still see that I'm all like super laggy, like crazy lag. So I apologize, guys. Um, yeah, maybe we'll just let it ride out. And hopefully the next one is better. Hopefully, if you're listening to this, you can hear my voice and it's not too distracting. But it is what it is. Otherwise, if I shut it down, I might. I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of got in the habit of not streaming, so it's like I almost didn't even show up today just because what it is. Like, even if you enjoy doing something, if you don't do it for a little bit, you kind of just get in that routine of not doing it. So if I shut it down now, I'm afraid that I won't like, stay with it. And I like this. I like streaming. I like talking with you guys. I like shooting the breeze and making jokes and stuff. It's a cool outlet for me. I found actually a weird benefit to this is I'm much more comfortable talking on the phone now. Like, which is it's an interesting development, but I don't know what it is. Maybe talking in this format like allows me to. It really, it's like almost practice for like developing your thoughts on the phone, because like I am notoriously, I'm not bad on the phone. I just do not enjoy being on the phone, and I just don't like phone calls. I never grew up like when I was growing up. When you date in high school, and when I grew up in the 90s and the early 2000s, like you have a landline, right? And your landline is like the connection to any, like you don't have a cell phone, so you don't have direct contact. Like you have a landline, a phone on the wall that you push buttons into, and it calls whoever you're trying to call, right? It's real space agey. It's real. But I remember dating in high school and like even like the end of middle school, I would get phone calls from whoever I was interested in, and like even if I was like really really madly in love with them or like interested in them, I hated getting phone calls. Like, and not because like it was like the fact that like I was taking up the phone time for the rest of my family, but it was more so I just did not feel comfortable. Like I didn't like that I couldn't see their expressions or they couldn't see mine. It's just like how I don't like texting. Like, it's because a lot gets lost in translation. If I can't, it's like the only two forms of communication I want to use ever is face-to-face conversation or old school writing and sending letters. That's it. Those are the only two. Texting is too impersonal and too brief, and things get lost in translation. You can't convey sarcasm and phone calls have their merit just because I like hearing, like if I'm into somebody, I like hearing their voice, and like that's something that's good. You can hear the warmth and the connotation and the inflection. So I like that, but also don't call me. Unless okay. Now so this past week or so, maybe 2 weeks, I've been having fun. I've talked about A quite a bit because she's a big part of my life down here. So it is what it is. But actually we've been like calling each other and FaceTiming like for the past couple weeks, like, and we'll have like 5-6 hour conversations. It's like till like 3-4 a.m. So she's probably the only one. She's the only one that like I really really enjoy being on the phone with, and like it's wild to me because I'm not that way with anybody else. Like even like my parents, like I love my parents to death, and I love face to face. I love them, but like something about me on the phone. If I'm on the phone like for more than like 5-10 minutes, even with my parents, I'm like, I start feeling like uncomfortable because I can't like hug them or I can't like see like make eye contact. It's just like it's like oddly impersonal to me. Like it makes me feel not like connected. Like it like almost accentuates the fact that we're not face to face, if that makes sense. Like it's weird. Like it should make you feel okay, good. I think we're back now. It looks like pretty normal. So hopefully, if you stuck around, um, things are looking much better. Okay, sweet, awesome. That makes me feel a lot better. But yeah, phone calls like for some reason make me they exaggerate the impersonality of it. Like if that makes any sense. So I will say it hit me. I don't know. So we've been talking for maybe 2 weeks, like on the phone, like and it hit me last week, just out of the like it was like one of the nights I was about to just fall asleep, and I was like, man, I really want to call her. Like I really like I hope she calls me. Like it was one of those like I don't want to blow up her line. I don't want to like take up all of her time because I could if I like I because I love hearing her speak about things. But like it was probably the first time maybe in my entire life that like I caught myself like, oh, I really want to call her. Like, and if you know me, if you're like me, like I know a lot of you out there don't like talking on the phone. Like it's just part of what we grew up with. It was just like there was always those camps. Like either there was a group that like really loved like talking on the phone, like they would be on there for hours, like mean girls, like with their friends, just like talking and talking. And the other camp was like, nah, don't ever call me. And I'm always on the don't ever call me side. Like I'm always like, if you can text it to me, please don't ever call me about it. Like just send me a text, you know. So I've always been that way. I remember this girl I was into a few years back. She was a very big caller. Like she loved like talking on the phone, which is like I'm not judging. Like that's just not who I am. Um, and she like from the jump she made it known that like oh she much rather call than text. Like I would text her something and she would call me like to respond. I was like, oh, this is how it is. And I'm not gonna lie, for the first night it was cool. The first night because it was like I had gotten off of work and I was laying in bed and she worked overnight, so like she was talking to me while she was working and I could tell it was like keeping her company. And but like by the end of it I was like, man, I don't want to do this. This is not the way I like to communicate, you know. And like it won't last for me very like with that. It just doesn't. It's not for me. And there's a John Mayer quote, and yes, I'm gonna quote John Mayer. He says like in one of his songs, she's got a face to call home. She's got a face to call home. And I've always thought about that. Like that stuck in my brain for some reason. Like I've always wanted that type of love where like somebody who like I just want to hear their voice. I want to call them. Like I get over whatever it is inside of me that like I call them up and like it doesn't feel weird. It doesn't make me feel weird. It's just nice to hear the person you care about, their voice. So maybe it's just like I haven't met the right person, because A has really showed me that like I don't know. It's just maybe it's also because I feel connected to her in a different way. Like we're like don't get me okay. We're gonna have a separate the next episode is gonna be all about A, because she's a beautiful soul. Like she's just one of those like if you spend any time around here you're gonna change for the better. She's just a special person, and I'm not gonna lie to you, and we'll get into this much more detail next time. I'm not gonna lie, when we first met and kind of got to know each other, and when we were both single, I shot my shot. All right, and I'll talk about this more because there's a story to it, but I shot my shot. She didn't feel the same way, you know. It stung, but guess what? I'm a full-grown man. I took the few weeks. I let it hurt. I let it, you know, marinate. As she always says marinate, and it makes me laugh. I let it marinate, and then I said, you know what? She is an awesome person. She just don't feel about that same way about me. Like nobody ever said we gotta be like romantic, like a romantic relationship. That's not what not everybody that you find cool or interesting or like, you know, gorgeous or funny. Like you don't have to. It doesn't have to immediately be that rom com. Like that doesn't have to be the destination. You know. So she really showed me that like I was like, you know, I don't, just because she doesn't feel the same way about me doesn't mean, you know, I can't be a great friend to her. Like we can't just be great friends. Like that's you know, because I knew from the jump that like, okay, this is somebody I really want in my life. You know. Um. So like I said, I let it sting, but but then I just was like, all right, bet. Now I'm gonna be the best friend that I can to her, and you know, really be there for her, cause like she's a special person. She's real. She really is. Um, but yeah, we'll get into this next because I really have stories on days for her, and maybe one day I'll tell her about that episode that we're gonna talk about her, and if I can get over my embarrassment, and because like I said, we're still good friends. Like we talked last night, so it's like I don't want to make her feel uncomfortable ever. But anyways, um, but yeah, so yeah, I did shoot my shot. I bricked. It wasn't an air ball. It wasn't quite an air ball, but I bricked. Um, but now we're really good friends, and I'm so thankful for that. And she's really showing me that, like, I don't know. And maybe it's also the way she is on the phone. It's like she's very inviting. Like she welcomes you in like this, kind of like that's what I hope you do. You feel when you come here. It's like you feel invited in. You feel comfortable and warm in this space. You know, because that's how she makes you feel on the phone. It's like she's just so naturally like, just I don't know. So I can't. It's less about me, I think, and more about her. You know, she just has that way about her where you kind of want to just be around her and want to be like, you know, in her presence and speaking to her. So I guess that's a big part of it because everyone, like, I've dated so many, not so many. I'm not out here dating very many people, but like the women I have dated, even if I love them, like I'll talk about Elle too. And Elle, I loved so much. Like I love that girl, that woman more than I love myself. Like I written so many songs about her, so many poems about her. Like I love that woman. I was gonna marry that woman. But even then, I did not want to call. Like I just not. It wasn't. It was like we maybe called each other a few times, and she wasn't very much of a talk on the phone kind of person either, I think, or at least maybe that just wasn't what our relationship was. But I remember we talked on the phone a few times, and it was cool. It was like, man, we should do this more. But I just never. It's one thing I do regret with her. I wish I would have called her more, just to, you know, just to talk and to hear her voice. You know. That is one. And speaking of regret, look, I think it's BS when people say they don't got regrets. I think that's absolute BS. I don't know. I get the mentality. I get like, you know, move forward, like move on. Don't dwell on the past. I get it. But I think, and this is just a hot take maybe, or just real talk. But I think regret is such a good thing in life. I think it can be you know, as long as you don't let it debilitate you, you know, you can use it for motivation or a learning tool. You know, if you don't regret anything, no one lives a perfect life. You know, we don't ever make every right decision ever for the rest of our lives. You know, there's going to be decisions we make that if we had to do it over, we would do it over, you know? So I just don't resonate that saying like, no regrets just doesn't resonate with me because I regret a lot of things. And if I could go back in time, I would change them. Maybe not to have a different outcome, but just because I know what I know now, and I wouldn't make that same choice then. Um, so I actually I love not love. I don't love having the regrets at the time, but like looking back, they motivate me and they fuel me and they like kind of teach me. I think regret is like such a good teaching tool. And I think it's just kind of, I don't give advice, but I think it's just, I just don't, me personally, I don't think it's wise to be so focused on not having regrets, because that's a teaching tool. That's such a good learning moment, because looking back, like I just said, I regret not calling Elle more when we were together, not calling her to tell her I was thinking about her, or not calling her, to ask how her day went, or to, just call her while I'm grocery shopping and ask her what she wanted, like things like that. Like I would just text. And, it's weird, like how memory works, but like, I don't remember the text. I don't remember, like, texting is so impersonal. I don't remember like words that have been sent to me. I don't, but I remember conversations with voices. Like that's how my memory works. My mind works. I can distinctly remember conversations I've had with her on the phone, and kind of the outline of what was said, so even from that standpoint, like the regret of not like having those memories, fuels me and reminds me, who I'm with next. Even if we don't have that kind of relationship, I want to try to at least call more often, because as uncomfortable as it makes me feel sometimes being on the phone, I think I just talked myself into becoming a phone person. I don't know. What did I start with? I started because this is like getting me more comfortable on the phone. This right here is like, I don't know. But you know what I hate? I hate when you're on the phone and it's like, it's so, I don't like it, because in person, it's like if there's like a pause or a silence, you can at least stare at the person and like look at their face and like see what their expression is. You can see if they're uncomfortable. You can see if they're smiling. You can see if they're laughing or they're not paying attention, whatever it is. But on the phone, you don't have any of that. So if there's a pause and like maybe you try to fill up the space with like something, but like it just always, and you both talk at the same and you both, it's just like, and it's like, and also if you can't hear very, like, unless I have my headphones in, like I can't really hear my phone too well, especially when Nashville's like out and about, like, panting or scratching or walking around or chewing on his toys. So it's like things are getting lost in translation, where it's like in person it'd be easier. I could hear their voice, but on the phone it's just like things are just getting dropped left and right, and I'm like, and your boy, like, even if I'm watching like a show, I have to catch every single little bit of it. If I miss even just a phrase, I back it up and pick it up. Like that's just who I am. I want the complete story. So when I'm on the phone and I'm like missing these pieces, I'm like, dang it, man. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But yeah, I'm going to try my next relationship. I'm going to try to call more. And John Mayer says a face to call home, but it's really a vibe to call home. Like, I don't know. It's like, it's more like a feeling and not like, it's like some people you just want to call. And that's crazy. Like, I don't know. A is the first person. Because like I said, there would be times in like middle school and high school when I'd be dating and a girl would call me and I would just be like, oh no, I don't want. And back in the day, like I couldn't, like in middle school and high school, I wasn't who I am now. So I couldn't be like, yo, I don't really want to speak on the phone right now. I couldn't like say no. So I would just be trapped, not trapped. I would be like, I just wouldn't be able to get out of the situation for like 2 hours. So I'd be on the phone with this person. They'd be talking to me about things I don't really care about, or things I do care about, but I don't want to be talking on the phone like this. You know, it's like, is my brother on the other line listening in? Who knows? Because at that time, landline, if you have multiple phones for the house, right? If you got enough people, and if you only got one line, if one person's on the phone, that anybody else in that house can pick up the other phone and hear the same thing, the same line, right? So they can hear your conversation. So your mama can get on the phone while you're talking to someone you're into, and they can be like, "Oh, is that? I love it." And I'm like, "Mama, stop." Not that my mom ever did that, but it's like, "Oh, why are you talking to her again? Nah, leave that old girl alone." um, but yeah, I just never felt comfortable with it, and like I said, and a lot of it has to do with that middle school, high school, because I just always felt trapped. Like I always like just like waiting for them to hang up, or waiting for them to get like sleepy, and like, but some of my girlfriends just never would. They would just keep going, and I would always, like I said, I wasn't like able to be like, "Yo, I don't want to talk right now," because I was afraid that they'd be like mad at me, which they probably would be, just because in middle school, high school, you don't know, you just take everything offensive. You don't have enough experience or knowledge to be like, "Yo, it's all right." Like, they just don't want to speak to me right now. Like this, they don't. It's not that they want to, because if you in middle school and you say, "Hey, I don't really want to talk to you right now," and y'all have only been dating for 2 months, oh, y'all done. Y'all over by third period. The next day. If you say, "I don't want to speak to you right now," and obviously I wouldn't say it like that, but I'd be like, "Yeah, I don't really want to be on the phone right now," and then that's enough to be like, "Nah, we done." But now I can do that. Now I can be like, I'm not really in a good headspace for the phone. Like, just come over. Just come over. Like, I'm very much more of like, just come over. Like, it's one of those like, maybe I don't want to speak on the phone, and it doesn't have anything to do with you. It's just me. It's like, I just don't feel comfortable on the phone. Just come over. Like, teleport to me. Like, just come over, lay on top of me. Let's just talk about what we talk. Like, I don't know, man. I am so much more of a in-person kind of guy, and I get that, like, you can't always be around the person, like, you got, so I'll try to get better with this, helping. I try to get better on the phone, but if you were thinking of me, just come over. Like, don't call me, don't text me, just come over. Like, 9 times out of 10, I'm like cuddled up with Nashville in my bed, so just come over. Maybe text me you're on your way, but then just knock on my door, come in. Like, if you know me, not no. I mean, nothing random, but like, if we're cool like that, come on over. You can, not in a weird way, but come join me in the bed. We'll put on some Netflix, or we can just chill on the couch. You can just chill in my space, and I'll feed you, because that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna feed you, and we'll just talk and live. That's who I am. If we're like, especially if we're dating, like, don't call me. Just come over. Just come to where I'm at, or like have me come to you. Like, let's meet up. Like, let's see each other. I need to be able to like see you. I need to be able to hear your voice and like see your laugh, and like, one of my love languages, like, well, my biggest one is physical touch. So it's like something also about like having conversations. You can actually like, embrace them, or like, I'm very much like, when I'm with somebody that I care about, like, I'm very like absent-minded. I'll like trace along their like, their arm or their thigh or their whatever it is, or their back, or like I'll play with their hair while we're talking, or or like I'll kind of, play with their hands. Little, like just things like I'm just like a very physical, like touchy kind of person with my person. Outside of that, like if it's not, I'm not really like. It's kind of weird. It's kind of. Are you guys like that too? Like, I know, and frankly, a lot of women I know like it makes sense. Like, if we're not like that, don't touch me, right? And it's like a lot of dudes are very like much in your space. Like, it's weird. But like for me, like if I'm not in a relationship with you, don't touch me. Don't touch me. And some people can do it in a cool way where it's like friendly, but like most people do it, it's just not inviting. It's not friendly. It's like just like, bro, nah, don't. Even if we're friends, like, nah, don't touch me like that. Don't. It's like only the rare person who has that. Just it's part of their characteristics and their nature, where they're just like It's not a weird kind of touch or like embrace. They can do it and it makes sense, And I like those people, but like 9 times out of 10, it's not those people. It's some dude named Gregory, and he's just in your space for what? For no reason, and he's touching you, and you're like, I don't like this. I don't like this. I can't even imagine being a woman and being. I can't. That's why I say just get tattoos, man, and people will touch you less. And it's nice. Cause I just don't like being. I don't know. Outside of like hugging my family members and like my friends, I don't really. Like I can't tell you the last time. Matter of fact, probably like I've actually had a good hug. Like it was probably I think in New Year's. Like it was like what 5 months ago. I go long stretches at a time like without being touched, and I wonder if that I always like I'm worried that like that'll have like some kind of negative effect on me. Cause like I didn't even know what the term touch starved was until like a few summers ago, and then I started thinking, man, am I touch starved? Probably, cause I don't in my month to month, my year to year, I don't really like I said, I stay single for a long time. So, and it's like that's whoever, if I'm dating someone, like that's where like all of that like physical touch energy goes to, right? It's never I don't know, I'm just not touchy feely with anybody else but that person that I'm with. So if I don't have that, then it's like I go entire, like if I didn't say my family at least once a year, I could go an entire for an embarrassing amount of time, like months without like a genuine embrace or like, it's wild. It's so weird. Like even like, this is gonna be. I guess it's just gonna be embarrassing to. Happy Sunday, Marisol. Missed your face too. Did you miss me? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I was just talking about at the beginning of this. If anybody missed me, like that's cool. That makes me smile. How have I been? I've been good. I've been creative. I just disappeared because I was waiting for this cord to show up through Amazon, and it was like a whole week. So I wanted to be here, but I just couldn't. I didn't want any glitchy, like, I wanted it to be good for you. But how have you been? What have you done this past week? Yeah. We're talking about physical touch. I guess that's what we're talking about now. But yeah, I can go. I mean, months without like. I mean, like I said, like at work, I shake hands, or like fist bump, or like. That's about it. Like I don't, and like I said, I'm not dating like even casually. I'm not like dating people, so it's like if I don't have like a significant other, like the most touch I get through the year is like if I'm back home with my fam, and my mom's a hugger, so she'll hug me. Like I hug my family, like I love them like dearly. Outside like my puppy, tattoos. It's like, And maybe that's, that's I this is just gonna be embarrassing. I think I said that, but this is gonna be like just exposing myself. But um, few summers ago when I really figured like found, okay, I was going through a depression hole. Like I had just moved down here. I was really lonely, and it really like hit me that like, okay, if I don't really come in contact with people all that often. I'm in the woods like for the majority of my work, and my family's 1,000 miles away. It's just me and my dog. And I've got friends, yeah, but like, I was just kind of lonely and feeling extra depressed. And like the winter time too was like a terrible time for me. Less so here, but like up north, it's bad. Um, but I remember it was like a period of time where like I was taking a lot of like hot baths, and I didn't really know why. I just was like felt really comfortable. And then I read like something online, like, and I don't know if it's true, but it was like people who are touch starved or like really like feeling lonely or like lacking physical touch take hot baths, more frequently, just to feel warm and comfortable. And like I said, I don't know if that's true. You can fact check that. I don't know, but it just felt true. Because I was like, and then that led me on to like, man, I really don't touch people, and I'm not touched like a lot. So then that got me down a hole of like, man, I mean, I know I'm depressed, but like, am I touch starved as well? Is like that, is that gonna affect me? And then around that time too, I was getting a lot of tattoos, and we've talked about this before, but like I started like developing feelings for like a few tattoo artists. And I was trying to think like, why? I mean, A, they're real cool people, but like B, I was like, why am I catching feelings so fast for these women? And I think a big part of it, if I'm being brutally honest, is like because of the physical touch. And that may sound weird, that may sound strange. I get it, because it's like you're literally getting stabbed with a needle. And it may sound sad, and the more I'm explaining, the more sad it sounds, but like it's honest. Just like when you're getting tattooed, they're like touching you, and like they're like physically like, I don't know, like it made me realize how strong physical touch can be, and like how I guess how impactful it is when you don't have it in your life. Cause like I was like developing feelings for like these artists like real fast, like within a session or two, and I was like, what is happening? Cause like I don't catch feelings for about anybody. Um like I get crushes, but like as far as like real feelings, like I was like, what is happening? And then I was like trying to think, and I'm like boiling it all down. I was like, oh, it's probably a big part of it has to do with that physical touch. And like I go months at a time without being touched by anybody, like apart from my dog, like, and that's not the same, right? um and then all of a sudden somebody's physically, wherever it is, if it's my hands, or physically touching my hands or my thighs, or like my just my skin, for hours at a time, when I like that's the most physical contact I've had in months. So that was really what like tipped me off, was like, maybe this is messing me up, maybe this has effects that I don't even know about. The lack of physical touch, maybe it's gonna like maybe it's gonna come back in some kind of way down the line. But yeah, when I'm with my person, when I have my person, like I'm the complete opposite. I'm all over them, like, in a good, like, not in a overbearing way. It's just like I said, I'm the one that like I'm resting my hand on your thigh while we're driving. It's just like I'm the one. I play with your hair while we're falling asleep. You know, I like, trace up and down your spine as we're falling asleep. Even like if we're just chilling on the couch, like I like when her legs are over me, or whatever it is. Not even, it doesn't even have to be sexual. Like just like that's me. That's how I express a lot of my love is through that. And so I don't know. You've been alright, thinking a lot about your future recently, going to the gym and working. Oh, dope. Okay, okay. Good thoughts about the future, scary thoughts about the future, worried thoughts about the future, happy thoughts about the future. Um, and how's the gym going? Any like any alpha males in there grunting or showing out? Um, what are your top 5 love languages in order? Ooh, okay. I like that, Marisol. You hitting it heavy on a Sunday. Um, so let me look up the love languages because I actually wanted to do a an episode on this just because I'm always curious. All right, the 5 love languages of caregiving. All right, so this isn't my order yet. This is just so I can wrap my head around it. All right, so number 1 is words of affirmation. 2, quality time. 3, receiving gifts. 4, acts of service. 5, physical touch. Okay, okay. So right off the bat, number 1 for me, and let me know yours too. Let me know yours too. My first one, without a shred of doubt, is physical touch. I'm very touchy. Like that's just a big part of me is like I said, I just like when I have my person, I am very, I show my love through touch. Like even if it's just like holding hands, like I don't know what it is, but if we're walking through the grocery store and it's like I feel slightly disconnected, but then when we hold hands, I feel connected. It's like I know you're holding hands, you're physically connected, but like it's different. Like it's spiritually, like mentally, like I feel even closer to this person through touch. And then number 2 for me is quality time. Quality time is definitely number 2, and it's close to physical touch too. Like quality time is big for me because dang, this is gonna be a whole segment. Marisol, I'm sorry, you opened a can of worms. We're gonna get into each of these. I'm gonna have to break it down. Um, so hopefully that's where people wanted this to go today. But quality time for me, like when I choose a partner, when I start falling for somebody, typically my head and my heart do a good job of like working together. You know, it's like my heart recognizes what my head kind of wants and vice versa. So it's like when I start falling for someone, this person is who I want to like, you know, have deep talks with and like one-on-one interactions and like it's like I don't fall for people superficially. Like I don't and we'll talk about my sexuality too like down the road, but I I don't do shallow. I don't do like I'm not one of those dudes who goes to the bar and like tries to pick up woman like a girl for the night or like even a girl for the months. Like when I meet somebody like that like want to date, want to see, not even date, but like want to like spend time with, is that's big for me. Like because I'm not just you know that phrase plenty of fish in the sea. Like I have never resonated with that. Like I know it is usually used for like breakups. Like come on, you'll get over them. There's plenty more fish in the sea, right? But like that doesn't work for me because I don't want plenty of fish. I don't want everybody to have access to me. I don't want to have everybody to like I don't want to spend time with everybody. I pretty much I'm a ride or die. Like I'm a one woman kind of dude. Like I like I don't know. I was never. It was always weird to me, like being in college and like when we go out and like all my friends were like in that hookup culture when you're like 20 and 21, 22. You know, we'd go to the bars and then everyone would always act so weird because they were trying to impress women and like Meanwhile, I was just like doing me. I was like talking about Ed and Eddie, and like just speaking to people as human beings. Like I was just like me, but in the bar, right? And they were all just, they turned into like dudes have this way, like when they're like around a group of like people, and like there's somebody they're attracted to. It could be a woman or a man, whatever, like their orientation is, or trans or whatever. I don't, I don't judge. Everyone's welcome here, but like dudes especially, and I'm assuming women are the same way, but like dudes change and turn into this like version of like themselves. It's like I don't like it. It's just like obviously they're trying to impress. They want to put their best foot forward, and I get it, but it's you can tell the intention. It's like more to like, it's so superficial and just like trying to sleep with these women and or hook up, or like I guess develop a relationship. I don't know. But I remember just sitting there and like being like, what is happening? And like my thing is like I don't when I go to the bar, that's not my mindset. My mindset is not like, well, I literally, when I go to any event, any party, any like, my buddies, it's funny because in their minds, I've talked to them about this, like in their minds, they're going home with somebody, or like they're going to hook up, or they're going to like, end up making out with some girl or guy or whoever they're with, like, but like if I'm single and I'm going out to this event or whatever, my mindset is like, oh, I'm gonna go to this thing, and when I come home, I'm gonna hang out with my puppy, we're gonna cuddle, and we're gonna watch Netflix. I never even think like, yo, I'm gonna come home with somebody, like, ever. That's never ever my mindset. Like it's just like how I've always been, and I recognize that's not typical for a lot of dudes, a lot of guys. Like that's just not, at least when I was growing up in my 20s, and I'm still that way now, where it's like if I go out with my boys or if I go out with friends, if I meet people, it's cool. Like, and if I meet someone, I connect with them like that, I'm not opposed to it, but like that's never the goal, never the intention. Like, I guess I like that fact because it opens me up to like having these like, it's almost like it forces the universe, it forces like, what's the best way to put this? I know I'm all over the place, but it's got me good. Like I like talking about this, and I'd rarely even talk about it, but it forces the universe kind of to like put something in place, or like the only way I'm gonna go home with somebody is if that person is like, we vibe heavy, like we connect on them, just boom, 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 like just something that like feels like almost like a miracle, right? Like my mindset when I go into a place is like, oh, I'm going by myself. I'm going in, but like I'm leaving by myself. So like that already puts the bar right here, right? So if I end up like connecting with somebody like that, it feels special. And I guess that's what I like, is like I like the special. I'm not here for like, anybody. Like you see those like pickup artists, I guess. Like it's always like a trope on TV and shows. I just watched Criminal Minds about a pickup artist, but like they say like I strike out 99 times, but like that 100th time is that's all it takes. I'm like, ugh. First of all, that's so gross. That's such a gross way to think about it. Like, no offense if that's who you are, like if that's what you're about, but like that's just the opposite of me, because it's like, bruh, I nah. And it's not a lack of confidence or anything like that. It's just more like that's not what I'm about. I don't want 99 times striking out and I want like, because that makes the one time feel not special. Like it's just like, oh, you just came with me because I said yes. I don't want that. I don't want someone who was like, I don't want to put them in that situation where they're the 100th choice, right? I automatically don't want to start anything with them, because I devalued them and made them like the 100th choice just because they were there. And on the flip side, if they ever did that to me, I'm like, I know my self-worth. Like I respect myself enough to like, nah, that's not, I don't want to just be the one that said yes, I want the one that you pursued, or the one that caught your eye and like, oh, I can't stop talking to you or thinking about you. But yeah, so long story short, my brain and my heart connect really well. So it's like when I really, really vibe with somebody, like romantically, then like quality time for me is crucial, because like I said, I'm not hanging out with these 99 people. You know, I'm not, my space is very crucial to me. And so like when I let you in, like that's a big deal. That is a huge deal for me. And like, and part of that is like, I'm not going to just let anybody in. Like I'm not going to let anybody who I think like, if we have just shallow conversations, I would rather have me by myself than have shallow interactions, right? So for me, the quality, it's an emphasis on the quality time. Like it's, and don't get me wrong, like one of the like love languages I don't think is on there is just like being around each other. Whatever that one is big for me too. It's like just being in the same space as somebody, even if we're doing different things. So it's not really quality time. It's like maybe I'm doing the dishes and they're like reading or like watching TV. Just we're in the same space and we're sharing the same, you know, air, and you know, I can hear their laugh or you know, their frustration or whatever it is. Like that's a big one for me. It's just being around each other and feeling comfortable. So that's probably actually just above quality time. Just after physical touch is like whatever that is, like comfort, doing our own things. Like that's, but then quality time is right there, because it's like I said, I don't want average. I don't want like just basic, you know. So the quality for me is like quality person, like somebody who like I really enjoy engaging with, like on a deeper level, like, and not saying like we're always having just crazy talks, but like that's a part of it. Is like I love, you know, having conversation with my person about whatever it is. It can be silly stuff too. It's not serious, but it's just like, you know, you remember those times, those quality times, you know. Yeah, quality time's number 2 for sure. Oh, my bad. Physical touch is definitely your top. You agree with me? Even like when going out or just in the car, holding my significant other's hand or arm or their hand on my lower back is 3 hearts. Yes, 100%. Just letting them know I'm there and want you. Yeah. So physical touch. Yours is physical touch, quality time. 3 is hard. Okay, yeah. Words of affirmation, only because I think I haven't really had that in a relationship, and trauma from past relationships. Acts of service is 4, and last but not least, receiving gifts. Okay. You know what? Words of affirmation 3. You know what, Marisol? I think we have the exact same love language order. If I'm reading that, I think so, because mine's physical touch, then quality time, then words of affirmation, then acts of service, and receiving gifts. You're right. So after quality time, words of affirmation. Wait, let me see. Acts of service. Words of affirmation. That's interesting. That's so maybe I switch. Now that I'm thinking about it, 3 and 4 are switched for me from yours. So I put acts of service as my 3 and words of affirmation as my 4. No. We're on the same page again. I'm back to it. 3 is words of affirmation, because I very much like, yeah. 3 is words of affirmation for me, because I like hearing what you're thinking. I love hearing what your thoughts are, especially like I love hearing your thoughts on what we are and what our relationship is, or what you think of me. Like, you know, it's always makes my butterflies in my stomach when someone says they love me, or hey, I was thinking about you, or hey, you're the so and so, or whatever. What you're this, you're this to me. You mean this much to me. Like those words really do matter. Like that means a lot. And me, it's not necessarily like it's not number 3, or it's number 3 for me personally, but like how I show it is, it's probably up there to like number 1 or 2. Like it's weird. Like I love expressing my words of affirmation for people. That's a big thing for me. Is like when I'm with you, I tell you, like I share that vocally, like, because in the past I remember dating people, and like you never knew where you stood with these people, or like even people like I respected and I liked, I never quite, it made me realize, oh, if I don't say it, they're not gonna know it. Like, yeah, my actions will prove it, but like it's just nice to have the validation and like the comfort of knowing like where they stand with their words, because like you can't. I was thinking about this last night, so it's weird that it's coming up now, but like I'm very much more like show it, don't tell me. Like, actions speak way louder than words for me. I believe I have a hard time believing people's words. Like I don't you know I'll believe it when I see it, kind of thing. If you show me through your actions that you care about me, that means way more to me. But if you show your actions and your love towards me, but you also, like, if you establish that and then you also throw in the words of affirmation like on top of that, yeah, that's chef's kiss. So I guess I can preface that with saying I need. It can't just be words. Like you can't just tell me you love me, or you can't tell me like, hey, I'm missing you. Like you've got to have. We've had to have that history of like you showing up, or like, if you say you miss me, come over, or like let's make it happen. Like let's make plans. Let's see each other so we can see each other. I've had in the past where like, that's why sometimes words of affirmation fall flat for me, because like they'll say they miss me, but like then their actions don't match. It's like, well, then if someone tells me they miss me, I'm like, yo, hey, all right, bet, what are you doing tomorrow night? And then it's like a lot of times like no response, or like nothing, or like they'll say they care about me, but like their actions are not lining up, and so that's when it breaks down for me. But when I'm with the person and it's like we have that track record of like, yo, their actions tell me like, yo, I can tell they care about me, and then they're also expressing with their words like their thoughts and their ideas on me, like that's amazing. That's ideal. But like speaking on that is like, because I've seen, like, experience really is such a gift, because it's like I've seen how I there have been times in the past like where like I'll like think like, oh, I've shown them through my actions that like I care about them, right? But like not all the time, like doesn't translate to a lot. Like everybody's different. Like just because I know I love them and I show them that I love them through the ways I show them doesn't mean that they know that, right? Just like this is why love languages are like the thing, right? But like it's like that really opened my eyes. Is like, cause you like, I remember I was with this woman and she didn't. I thought I was showing her like the kind of love that she wanted, right, or that she needed, and I remember we like got in a conversation, not even an argument, just like a conversation. She's like, well, why don't you ever tell me? Like, I don't know. I'm not a mind reader. I'm not, and that stuck with me, because it's like 100% you're not a mind reader. Like I thought like who I am, and like I wish I could open up. A lot of times with my friends or like my people I love, like I wish I could open up my chest and like show them my heart, and like actually show them how I feel about them, and then they'll have like that absolute confidence and like comfort and just knowing my heart, knowing that I'm a ride or die for them. Like that's, but since you can't, you're just like doing your best and you're trying to show them. But like for her, it was like I could show her till I was blue in the face, but also she wanted to know with my words to where I stood. Like she wanted the validation and the comfort and the knowledge of me physically saying it, like through my voice. And a lot of times things don't translate well too. Like you may be like showing your love to them, but like they don't perceive it as love. They don't unless you're like, yo, I love you, or I've been thinking about you. If I just send them a text, like if I was thinking this person and I send them a text like, hey, what do you want for dinner? To them, maybe they're just like, oh, he just asked me what's for dinner. But for me, I was like, I was thinking about you. So now you're on my mind. So now, and that gets lost in the translation. And that, I know it's just a basic example, but like that's how, for me, like if you extrapolate that on a bigger scale, that's how it is. It's like, so now I try, like I committed to like, before I even send that, hey, what do you want for dinner? I think, hey, I'm thinking about you, what would you like? Like things like that where I'm like, I really make an effort to be like, yo. And even, not even just my romantic relationships, but like my friendships too. Like it's really important to me, especially the older I get, and like, and losing friends and stuff like that. It's like, it's really important to me to be like, yo, I'm thinking about you. Hope you're having a great week. I hope you're doing well. Things like that, where it's like friend words of affirmation. It's like, yo, you mean a lot to me. Next time I'm in town, let's meet up. I really want to spend time with you. That's hard, huh? Told you 3 was hard. Yeah, 3 was really hard. I had to do words of affirmation as 3 because my anxiety would fill in the blanks bad things on my part. That's why it's important to me. Just the validation of how my significant other feels puts my heart and brain at ease. Yeah, I get that. All of the love languages go hand in hand for sure. Yeah, no, I completely agree. And yeah, I for sure, like I that anxiety, like, that's a good point. That's a really good point. Like I don't have, well, okay, I don't have anxiety. I have depression, but like it's not funny. So I okay, so I'm gonna put myself on blast this episode, I guess. I occasionally in the past I smoked. Not often. I mean, I'm talking like maybe once a year. Like when I'm in a safe space with my friends or whoever, like I would smoke a little of the devil's lettuce. Like I said, once or twice a year, if that. I was never a smoker. I just never. It wasn't for me. But anyways, the last time I did, it was it was laced, or it was like a bad batch, or it was like I did too much, or whatever it was. Because like I said, I'm not a heavy smoker, so it's like maybe I just smoked too much, and I had the absolute worst panic attack. Like I took like, yo, I thought it was gonna be like real chill. I was like, oh, this is fun. It's like a Friday. I'm out for work. I got my dog. It's a beautiful summer evening or spring evening or whatever. Let me just kind of, put on some good music, like take a few hits and just, drift. Right. I thought it was gonna be like what Kid Cudi sings about, where you just like zoning out. Right. But about 2 minutes after I partook, I dropped into this hellhole of a panic attack. Like just absolutely just the worst experience of my entire life. Like I went to a dark, it was bad. It was one of those like, if you never, like I'm not a big smoker, so like I never knew that this could happen. But after the fact, I found out that panic attacks from certain strains are like actually pretty, not common, but like they happen. And but I didn't know this at the time, so I'm like 45 minutes into this like hellish panic attack that felt like it was lasting for days, and I was like clutching my dog, and like thankfully like dogs know when you're feeling like not good, because he came up to me like within a few minutes, and he just stayed by my side the whole time. He just like curled up next to me and was like, thank goodness for him, because I felt like I was gonna die, and like I felt like I needed to call my neighbors and like send an ambulance. Like I didn't know what was going on. Like my heart was like exploding. Like it was just a pure terror, like panic attack, like like it was a nightmare. Like I, long story short, long story short, um, the effects of that lasted like that for like 3 days. Like it was like I just felt like just this residual panic and this residual anxiety for like 3 whole days. And then since then, and it's been lessening. I was thinking about this like last night too, but like it's been lessening. Like, but for like an entire year after that, it like for some reason it like unlocked some chemicals in my brain or something where like I started having panic attacks and like anxiety like symptoms for that whole year. Like it sucked. Like, and I had gone what 27, 28 years without, like I had maybe 2 panic attacks in my entire life, and both of them from like due to like real extreme lack of sleep. But like this was different. This was like it almost like reset my body in a bad way. Like it really like, oh okay, you've had 28 years of good, okay. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna make you worried for no reason. We're just gonna wake you up on a Monday, and you're just gonna have a feeling. You're just gonna have like your heart's gonna beat a little faster. You're gonna feel weird. You know, you're gonna feel uncomfortable, like vaguely uncomfortable, but like enough to the point where like you just kind of wanna sleep, but you can't sleep. It's just bad. So yeah, I don't know why I started talking about the anxiety. Yeah, my bad. That was off topic, but it's getting better now. I haven't had a panic attack in a while, so that's good, and I haven't felt like that anxiousness. But speaking of that, like in regards to like relationships, like no, I get that. Like the anxiety. Like honestly, I dated a woman who like had real like pretty severe anxiety, and like I was always like cognizant of the fact, and like I'm always the one that like I'm gonna let you know, like I'm gonna text you like in advance if I'm I'm gonna let you that exact thing, like putting your partner at ease, like because I know that they're worrying, even if I don't know why they're worrying or they don't know why they're worrying. Like if they're worrying, I'm gonna I was very aware, and like I make sure I show up in that way for them, just because they can't control it and they can't and that's the person I choose. So it's like I'm gonna do whatever I can to like it's a team thing, and like if but the thing is on that end, like for me it was big, like the communication, like because when we had first started dating, I didn't know this, right? You don't know, most people, you don't share like that kind of stuff, I'm not out here like, hey yo girl, you want to date? I got depression, it's gonna be real cool. It's not like, that's not your day one situation. It's something you kind of learn along the way. But I think it's crucial. You got to have these conversations like, because if you're thinking long term, like it is crucial to like at least even develop the right kind of way to love each other from the jump, So it's like the fact that she was honest about me, and she's like, yo, and it really came out. Okay, it really came out one time. I don't know. I just know her side of the story. I don't know how true it is. I don't know. All I know is like one night we spent the night together, right? And then the next morning I wake up and she's gone and my phone's gone. I'm like, hold up. So I go in the other room and she's got tears running down her face, and my phone's never by her, and I'm like, uh-oh. Like don't get me wrong. I am not ashamed. You can go through my phone. If we're together, you can go through my phone. I don't care. Like it's not a big deal for me. I'm not talking to other people. I'm not, like I said, I am confident. Like you're not gonna, like I make sure, like I'm not trying to hurt anybody. Like if I'm with you, I am with you. Like I don't, what's that, like I'm not out here with these hoes. I'm not out here like like with other people, other women are like, that's not who I am. Like that, like at first, I never want to. The person I choose, if I choose you, like I don't want to hurt you ever, like in any capacity. Um, so, but she was crying. I was like, this don't make sense. Like I know there's nothing in my phone that like would warrant this. And anyways, it turned out she had a dream, and she had a dream that I been cheating, or like I've been messaging women or something, and so like, and she had like real severe anxiety too, so like that like spiraled her. She couldn't go back to sleep, and so like in the middle of the night she like checked my phone and like went through all my messages and stuff, and like and and the thing about me is like I don't, it's not that I don't care, but it's like I don't, maybe it's a red flag, but I don't read it as such. It's like I could tell it was like heavy for her. Like it was like something real to her. Like this dream like sparked some anxiety in her that like it was bigger than me. It was bigger than, it was like something, I don't know. It was something that she couldn't explain, I couldn't explain. It wasn't just like she was jealous and like, it wasn't that. If it had just been that, like if it was just jealousy, like pure, like, then maybe I would have taken more offense to it. But like I could tell like she was hurting, and I was like, girl, who hurt you? I'm sorry, I won't do that. Um, but anyways, that's when I found like, that's when she told me like, oh, she has like real bad anxiety, and that's when I really like, and this is like a few months in, and we had a good conversation after the fact, because like I said, I'm not the type to lose my cool about a lot of things, and like especially like that. Like if you would have seen the situation, you'd be like, I would feel, I can imagine an alternate reality where like a dude has this exact interaction with a woman, and he like flips out on her and he spazzes and makes her feel worse, or like, and that breaks my heart. Like, yeah, there should be boundaries, and you ideally you're not going through each other's phone. There's a level of trust, but like we just started dating, and like I get it. Like she doesn't know my heart like that, right? So she doesn't know and dudes are the worst. Like guys, honestly, we're the worst. Like we're trash. Like I don't know why all women have like trust issues. Like if a woman is out here trusting men at 25, 26, 27 years old, like that's insane to me. Like, but good for you, but like, guys are the worst, and I'm not saying that like I said, I hate that phrase. Well, not me, so lump me in there too. I don't care. I don't, until I prove to you that I'm trustworthy, lump me in there. I don't care. But yeah, it breaks my heart to think that like in another scenario, like a dude would just absolutely just make her feel worse than she already was about like violating his privacy, which I get it, but like, anxiety's real, and like she was spiraling. And anyways, we had a really good conversation after that, and that's when she really told me like, my brain works like this, where a dream that somebody else could have, like I could have that same dream, and I would just wake up and like, hi, in my dream you were texting other women, and we'd have a conversation about it. But like for her, it just like took her to a place, like a dark place. Oh, he's cheating on me. Oh, he never loves me. He doesn't, It takes her to like 6 degrees of separation where she's somewhere else, and that really like kind of put me on the foundation of like, now, okay, I'm glad to know this, because now I can love you the way you need to be loved, or give you the comfort or like the peace of mind. If I'm gonna be late from work, I don't think of it as a clingy thing. I think of it as like, I'm gonna text you like, hey, I'm gonna be a little late from work today, but I'll pick up some dinner for us on the way home, or if I haven't heard from you all day and I know like you're feeling anxious, I'll text you like, hey, I'm thinking about you, all good over here, or even if like we have an argument, like I'm very big on like, look, my ego, I'll check my ego at the door. Like that's one thing I pride myself is as a man, is like I can take my ego out of most every situation. Unless we're playing like soccer or like basketball and I really want to beat you. Or maybe sometimes when we're playing Mario Kart and like you talking mad stuff, then that ego will come back a little bit, like, you know. And it takes me a lot to get to that point too. Like, it's usually if I don't like you, like it's usually like if it is like I'm playing sports and like a guy is coming off real arrogant, then my ego will show up and I'm like, I want to beat you. It's more competitive, but like for the major issues like this, like I drop my ego even through arguments, like even in like the toughest of arguments, like I'll check my ego. And like especially with her, like I knew she had anxiety, so it's like the next day, even if she wasn't speaking to me, like we'd have those kind of arguments, like, and she would just shut down. We'll have a whole I hope she's doing well. Like I never want to paint her in the bad light. Like she's awesome. We'll have a whole segment or episode on her too, because just a big part of my life. But even like if she's not speaking to me, like I'll check my ego, and I'm not like, oh, she's not, you know, if she's not gonna say anything, I'm not gonna say anything. No, because I know, because she had told me, and she was upfront and honest and like opened up in the past and told me, hey, you know, when this happens, you know, I think the worst, right? And so I don't forget that. I remember that, and I'm not going to use that against her. I'm not going to, like, you know, so let's say we have this argument and, you know, maybe she storms off, or I'm like, yo, I got to leave and like cool out. You know, I'll give it a little time. And if I don't hear from her, I'm going to text her. I'm like, yo, you know, I know we're not speaking at this direct moment, but like, I still love you. I still care about you. Are you hungry? You know, like things like that. Or like for me, like cooking or feeding somebody is like my love language. So like there'd be times where like we'd have like an argument, and we didn't argue often, but like we'd have an argument, excuse me, and she would shut down. And I knew like a big part of it was anxiety. Like I would like cook for her, or I would at least like fill up the kitchen with like smells and sounds. And I would offer her food, and she wouldn't usually take it, but like I would just wanted her to know, like, yo, yeah, we argued, yeah, we got into a fight. I know your brain is taking it to the worst of the worst, and like you're thinking I hate you, you're thinking I, you know, don't want to be with you anymore. But like I'm gonna feed you, I'm gonna care for you. I'm like, that doesn't, I get it. Your brain is lying to you and telling you things, but like this is who I am, and I'm gonna, like, I still love you, I still care about you. I'm not going anywhere. You know, this is your brain is lying to you. But it was important to me, because like if I didn't do that, her brain would spiral into, you know, and I could just keep it to myself and just be quiet and just know that I still love her, but like not share it with her, and she would just be having just a terrible time, right? And I don't want that to the person I love, the person I care about. I don't want them to have that. Like, so if I can express it, yeah, that was a whole thing, I guess. Did you know May is Mental Health Awareness Month? So this is our month. My anxiety and depression, your depression. I got you. No, but for real too. You're committed when in a relationship. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Dope. Okay. All right. Bet you got me. All right. Happy May. Happy Mental Health Awareness Month, everybody. Let's be kind to each other. Let's be good to each other. Let's recognize that everybody's struggling in some way, so just be kind to each other, and don't be hateful, don't be hurtful, don't be intentionally like hurtful to somebody. But oh yeah, 100%. When I'm in a committed, like when I'm in a relationship, I am committed. Like because like I said, I don't like average. I don't like basic. I don't like, you know, fleeting connections. You know, if I'm gonna let you in my space and you're gonna let me into your space, you know, it's gotta be. And it doesn't have to necessarily, like, my mindset is usually long term, but like it doesn't have. It's not like, you know, you have to like link up with me for life. Like that's not. But it's gotta be deep. You know, I don't want. you know, I guess a lot of times I associate like fleeting with like shallow, because when I connect with somebody and I get deep, I don't want to like, I want that to be a long-term thing. So I guess it all goes hand in hand. But yeah, when I'm committed, you know, with this person, it's like I can be this like quintessential ride or die. Like one of those things like, you know, if you like, if anything happened and like you went to prison for some stuff, I'm right there. I back you up. You know, I ain't saying, I ain't snitching. I got you. I'm waiting 25 years, 25 to life. You know, I'll be on the other side waiting for you. Like, that's just who I am. That's just how I've always been. It's like, you know, I'm that Bonnie and Clyde. I never saw that movie. I think, I don't know. Are they friends? I don't know. I'm that like, you know, like, it's just fresh in my mind. But like, if let's say my girl had a stalker, right? Like, I got no problem. There are not very many things I would go to jail for, but I would take out that stalker. And I mean, like, that would take out that stalker. And I don't know if I can promote violence on here, so but I would take that charge. I would go to jail. I'm a ride or die. Like, if this person is making my person feel uncomfortable like that, I got no problem. I'm a ride or die. I'll take him. I'll take that charge. I'll take the life, you know. But like, if they ever, like, you know, there was like a thing going around, I think on Reddit or something. There's like a thread. It's like, if your significant other, like, you know, killed somebody, and I know that's extreme, but like, if they did something like that, would you turn them in? And I thought about it for a hot second. I was like, I would not. I would not. Like, it would have to be like the most dire situation. Like, it would have to be like I don't agree with murder, obviously, but like, it had to be like something I can't even explain it. Like, it would be like, I don't know. It would have to be bad, because I'm just a ride or die. That's just who I am. I'm just loyal. Like, I'm just loyal. I'm not blindly loyal, but like, I'm loyal. If you've proven like enough to me, if you show me like who you are as a person and I vibe with that, I'm not gonna turn my back on you. But yeah, in terms of like relationship, I'm committed. Like, if it's like, that's the perfect example of like when I was with Elle, who had like severe anxiety. Like, I was always cognizant of that. Like, I was always not in like I was just always like, yo, I'm going to make this person who like chose me, I'm going to make them like, I'm going to love, I want to love them the right way, like the way they want to be loved. Like, that is something I've learned over time, and I'm still, obviously I'm not perfect at it. Like, I'm still trying and doing my best, and, you know, at least learning about it. And like, but like, I realize that like, as much as I love somebody, if I don't love them the way that they want to be loved, like, it just won't, it doesn't work. It doesn't, that, you know, that's probably the thing I've seen a lot with like most relationships that fail. Is like, they could love each other to death, but like, they don't love each other the right way, or the way that they each perceive love or want love, and it's gonna fall apart, you know. So like, little things, if I can just, if my person has like anxiety like that where they're spiraling, if I can, this is a different thing. My brain went to a different place, but like, I remember like, I prided myself on like days that she would have like a severe, like, she'd be just through it, like going through it. Like, she wouldn't be able to say much to me, like, and I understood, and I would like bring her food, and I would just, like, my physical touch, I would just like run my fingers through her hair till she fell asleep. And like, I prided myself on being that, like, that safe haven for her, and like that comfort for her. And like, you know, that was my way of loving her how she wanted to be loved, was like through her moments of like bad anxiety, just being there, just like stroking her hair while she was like zoning out, like trying to, you know. And most often she would fall asleep, and like, I was like I would tap myself on the back, like, yeah, boy. I would feel so proud to like be that for somebody, and especially the person I care about. So yeah, I'm committed. Like I'm in it. Like Nash said he'd agree to be kind. Yeah, Nash. Nash. Nash is kind when he wants to be. Like he's a sweetheart to people. Like that's something I love about Nash is like, I remember when I was worried when I came down here because Nash spent a lot of time, um, in like a rural area, like a farm, pretty much, and so he was more like it was more like the mentality of like, okay, I need him to alert us if there's like coyotes or like strange people. Like if there's people around where I'm at up there, that's not normal, right? Like there's no reason people should be in like a half a mile radius of where I'm from, just because like it's so rural. If there's people there, it's probably like a stranger situation where like nothing good's gonna happen. So I needed him to like kind of view people where like be wary of people. But like I guess I just raised him with so much love, and like he grew up with my family, and that like he loves people to death. Like he's not great with other dogs. He's cool with cats. He's cool with squirrels. He doesn't care about birds. He doesn't care about, you know, but dogs, other dogs, he's like, if they're here with him and they meet, they're cool. He's cool with them. He likes them. He's all right. But if they're walking by or like there's a distance or a gap between them, he is not friendly. He is not. He like barks. Like he's friendly, but like he doesn't want to like get them, but he wants to like shout at them. Like he's like, hello. I'm sorry if that was loud, but like he just like likes to shout real loud at them. Or like people walking by. That's like just kind of the farm mentality of him. Is like I needed him to like alert me when there's other like animals around or like coyotes especially, you know. So he still has that in him where he'll alert me, and he's like neighborhood watch, which is common with Australian shepherds, I guess, and a lot of dogs. Not gonna lie, it does annoy me a lot of times, some of the time, but also a lot of times I'm like, it makes me feel safer because like nobody's gonna try to come in here because my dog will bark at you before you even get up to the steps. So it does make me feel at ease, even if it gets annoying sometimes. He's just doing what he learned how to do, you know. But what I was saying is when I have people over, he is so sweet. Like he is so sweet, and it was like I almost felt like a proud papa. Like I don't have kids, but like I felt like, you know, when the first time I had somebody over at my new spot down here, I was worried because I honestly did not know how Nash would react. Like I did not know. It'd been I don't have people over all the time, so it's like it'd been months since we were up in Iowa, so it's a different setting. It's his own space, right? But I remember I invited my friend James over, and he came in. My puppy just like he was like cautious at first, but then he just by the end of it, by within like few minutes, he was on his back like wanting belly rubs, and he's a sweetheart. Like he really is a sweetheart to humans. Like if he doesn't know you and a dog, he'll bark, he'll get loud. But I now have no worries about him with people, and it makes me honestly like feel so. I'm gonna say proud. It makes me feel happy and proud, but also like I did something good. Like the way he is with people is like I know he doesn't have that bone in him where he'll. I know all dog owners say this, so I know he's still a dog, and like if he gets pushed to it, he can bite or he can get somewhere. But like he doesn't. That's not his natural state. His natural state, if he's just him, he's gonna lick you. He's gonna play. You know, and I love that. I love that. But yeah, dang, I didn't mean to go for almost 2 hours on this one. Marisol, you got me talking about them love languages, and then that like sparked. Did we go through them all? Because I really gotta take some footage for this video before it gets too dark. We talked about words of affirmation. Talked about quality time. Oh, okay. So receiving gifts acts of service is number 4 for me. Um, I don't even know if I really understand acts of service. Um, let's see, acts of service. Let me read it. Okay, it's like okay. The phrase in this, I've got this. I can tell you've worked so hard today. Let me finish loading the dishwasher and cleaning up the kitchen. Okay, so I guess that's cool. Like acts of service. I also show some of my love in acts of service, but like not really. Like it. That's something I had to learn. Um, I was dating a woman who like that was big for her. Was like showing acts of service for her was like one of her love languages. So like, it was an adjustment for me because that's not how I like naturally show my love. But like through that, I would clean up while she was at work, or I would mow her lawn, or like do her dishes when she wasn't feeling up to it, like things like that, where it's like that really like that was big for her. And so it's something I can learn. It's just not my natural state. Like if someone does that for me, it's just not like as crucial for me. Like I don't, I'm very, and I don't know if this is why I don't know why it ties into some people, but for me personally, it ties in. It's like, I'm very self-sufficient. I'm very, not that I don't need help, but like I'm very, I got me, right? I got me. And if someone else gets me, that's cool too. Like I like that, but like I don't need it. Like I don't ever felt like I appreciate it for sure, but I don't. It's just not the way for me. Like I don't know. I'd much rather have the quality time, if that makes any sense. And I know you can get a blend of these in each relationship. So, I'm not saying I don't like it. It's just not crucial for me. You know, but and then last for me is receiving gifts. I don't, I, I don't know. That one for me, I just don't understand it much. I get the idea of like, here, I thought of you, so I got you this. Like, that's sweet. But like, for me, personally, I don't care about gifts at all. I don't care about anything like object wise. Like, if I'm with you, I'm not there for what you can provide for me, like tangibly, like in like belonging. I don't. I'm the opposite of a gold digger. Like, I'll spend money on you. I don't want you to spend money on me. I don't want you to. For instance, if like you offer to get me like, let's say you offer to get me a new car, like 30 grand. I know I'm going excessive. I would feel uncomfortable, but B, I would much rather we spend that money like doing things that we enjoy and having like at least putting it into like the quality time slot, like, no, let's not do that. Let's plan a vacation where we can like hang out and spend all day at the beach and like chill at the hotel and go on hikes and things, or just be lazy all weekend, spend time in the hot tub, whatever. Like, my frame is always like, no, let's like, I appreciate it, but like I would much rather have that quality time. I would much rather us put that energy into spending our time together. I don't need you to spend money on me. I want you to spend time with me. Like, that's my big thing. I can't be, I don't ever want to be like them sugar babies or sugar daddies. I guess would I be a sugar daddy? I guess, yeah, I could have a sugar baby. I could be a sugar baby too, depending on the age. I don't know how it works. I never really looked into it, but I don't want gifts. I don't want like, I don't know. Also, I'm not a very good gift getter. I like giving gifts, but I'm not like a good gift getter because like I like I said, I don't care about physical belongings. Like, that's just my mentality. Is like, I was like, I can't take any of this with me. Like, and I appreciate it. Like, I do appreciate it, but it doesn't hit me the same. I don't feel like overjoyed when someone gets me something. I'm just like, oh, it's awesome. Like, I'll probably use it. Like, it's cool, even if I love it. But like, I would much rather have the memory of like us being together than the memory of something you got me. You know. And I'm not like, that's just me personally. Like, if gift giving is your thing, that's cool too. Like, I'm not here to like judge anyone's love language. I'm just telling you mine and my mindset on it. Like, the best gift you can give me is like your time, if that makes sense. It's like, instead of like buying me anything, even like, and I know it doesn't have to be big things, it can be small things too. Like, instead of buying me like a little trinket or like a book or something, although books are a good gift for me, I'm not gonna lie. That's the exception. But like, instead of buying me, something, spend time with me, cook dinner with me, watch a episode of a show I'm watching with me, go for a drive with me, go for a walk with me, hang out with my dog with me, take a bath with me, those kind of things. So it's like, I'm much more like, that stuff I take with me. That stuff is like the beautiful part of life for me, is like that quality time and that physical touch, and that to me gets me excited, and I can speak way longer on it. Like, even words of affirmation, that gets me like, so you can tell it's like, that's how crucial. It'd be like, if I had to map it out, it's like physical touch at the very top. Just below that, whatever the comfort is about being in someone's presence, like just the comfort. That's the sixth secret love language, is being comfortable around somebody without actually like engaging with them or being like in a conversation with them. And then just under that is quality time. And then words of affirmation is pretty close. And then acts of service and gifts are like pretty far down the line. But like, that being said, I can learn. Like, that's what I really strive to do when I'm with somebody, and like, let's say their primary love language is giving gifts, right? I can learn. It's not like my natural state, but like, I will do my best to like keep learning how to love this person. And if that's giving gifts, I'll reframe my brain where it's like, if I'm thinking of them, I'll get them something, or whatever it is, whatever it looks like, whatever that is for them. Like, acts of service, where like, I honestly don't care about lawn care at all. Like, I don't care. Like, I'd rather have, if I'm being honest, I'd rather have my entire yard look like a prairie, where I can have like just wildlife and bees and butterflies and I know people don't like snakes. If I can have like a habitat for like wildlife in my yard, and I don't care about mowing, I think I know it's a hot take. I think I've even said this before, but we're just like, it's just peer pressure. It's just like, the neighbors, you don't want them to think less of you. So like, whenever the Jim cranks up the mower in the back, you're like, oh, I gotta mow. But like, I would much rather, if I could have my whole yard look like a forest with like bunnies, and also it's just a waste to water the lawn, and a waste of gas to mow. I don't know. It just does not feel right. Like, it's just, if you live in the city, you have to do it. So I get it. But that being said, like, that's how strong I feel about like that. But like, for her, it was like a load off of her mind when I would come home and I would mow her front and backyard, because she'd be at work and she would like dread it. Like, when I was with the woman who likes acts of services, like, she would be dreading it, and I didn't know she was dreading it. I just, but the fact that I just took it off her hands, mowed for her, spent an hour, mowing, was like big to her. So I can learn, I can adapt, I can, I always try to learn, and so just because it's like last on my list, or one of the last on my list, if that's what it is for you, man, I'll do my best to at least try. No, you didn't. Okay. To me, acts of service would be like helping clean with me, or helping fold and put laundry away, or even just grocery shopping and putting them away. Is just chef's kiss. I know this might be much, but even just wanting to have sex regularly just makes someone feel some type of way. True. Cooking dinner together, then cleaning up together, because I can't go to bed without the cooking mess being cleaned up. No, you're hitting on a lot. Yes, 100%. That acts of service, helping clean. See, I get that. I get that because for me, and that's interesting because for me, that falls more in line with quality time. And I know that's weird because if we're sharing, I know, but okay, so I can vibe with that. I can vibe with that. If acts of service is more like that kind of like helping each other, then I get that. If we're doing it together, that's cool. Like I like see I that is cool. Um and no, you're right. Just wanting to have sex really makes you feel some type of yeah. Like the fact like there is such a power like in like knowing that person wants you. Like that's the key. Like that is the key. Like is knowing that the person you're with wants you and like verbalizing that. Like sometimes that's even more important. Like you could want this person, like the person you're with, right? But like they don't know that. They just think it's a regular Thursday afternoon. But like if you verbalize like yo, I want you, then you know if someone told me that like if they said like I want you and I knew what they and like the look and like I'm not responsible for what happens next. I just it's just that does put you in some type of way just knowing that this person wants you because that's big. Like that's if you want the person that you love or you care about to want you and you want them to want you like that. Um, so that does wonders. Like that's for sure. Like and I that's something that like I guess in society I don't know. It's like I'm very big on that too. Where it's like if I want you, I tell you. Like I let you know. Like I don't like the whole. I've been in too many like, not too many, but I've been in like situations where like I don't know where I stand or like I don't know like if this person wants me, I don't know it or they're not like telling me or like I'm not picking up. Look, I wish I could say I read all the signs. I do not. 9 times out of 10, I'm in my own world. Like 9 times out of 10, I'm thinking about like I'm daydreaming about like something else. Like so, I'm gonna miss all these signs. So like even with the person I'm with, like I'm just gonna be thinking they're thinking about their own thing, right? It's happened several times. Like I'm thinking about whatever. Or I'm reading or I'm doing my own thing, and like if they don't let me know what's on their mind or that they want me like that, I'm never even gonna know. But the power of it is like if I was doing my own thing and they like looked and they said, "Hey, I want you," knowing that they want me, A, is so hot. But B, the fact that they like communicate with me, like game over, game over, game over. That's it. But cooking dinner together and cleaning up together. Oh yeah. Oh, I can't. Yeah, the cooking mess. I can't either. And I think I got that from my dad, because my dad, that was like a big thing with him, was like you can't have a. I just could. I now that I'm older, I can tell it just was one of his things. When I was younger, I just thought, oh, he's being tough on us. He just, you know, but like you couldn't have like a full sink of dishes before bed, or like you couldn't leave, you know, dirty pots out like that. Like I thought that was just, but like now the older I get, I get it. Like it makes you feel so much comfortable, like so, like it's like clean space, clean head kind of situation where it's like if you know there's like dirty dishes just in the sink, it's like yo, that don't make me feel comfortable. Like I don't want to come home to like dirty dishes like that. And yeah, if there's like I can't leave like I can like soak my pans and stuff on the stove, like that's fine if like I know they're actively like I'm working toward cleaning them, but like I can't just leave things like just willy nilly on the stove, especially like I don't want to wake up the next morning to that. Um, so yeah, I'm right there with you, and I think I got that from my dad. Is like I gotta at least like I can have a few dishes in the sink, you know, like as long as they're not like gross. Like if they're just like, you know, I drank some milk and like little things I can leave in the sink, but like for the most part, I can't make a like if I'm cooking, I can't leave like my knives and like my utensils and my cutting board, and I can't like leave that like scuffed up. Like I have to clean them up. But yeah, if I had to say like let's throw some other. So we got the love languages in there. In between, way down here, those two down there, I have whatever cooking dinner together. I guess that's the quality time. Cooking dinner together is one of my all-time favorite love ways to express love. You know, because I've said this a few times, but like cooking for the people I love is like that's how I express a lot of my love. Like I swear I'm Italian, but I'm not. But like cooking for others is like my way to show them. Like if I feed you, like that's just there's something like primal and like nurturing. Like you just like feeding someone you love food that you made with your own hands. You know, that's beautiful. So that's a big one for me. And then cooking together, yo, that's it sucks because honestly, in the past, I've never really dated a woman who like enjoyed to cook. You know, although when I was dating Elle, you know, there'd be times where we cooked together and she loved it. Like it was like we'd cut on the music. So we just picture this, you know, you're in a warmly lit kitchen, maybe light some candles. Yeah, music going, and you're just dancing and you're cooking and you're chopping veggies. And even if you're not good at it, like I love sharing that time because for me, cooking is like therapy. It's like, you know, I know therapy should be my therapy, but like cooking is like so therapeutic for me. I just literally can just zone out. I don't think about the day. I don't think about the stresses of anything. I just chop and, you know, smell and feel. I'm usually, that's just my senses, you know, it's very, very primal. And I think a lot of people like just get in their head about like, oh, they're not good or they don't know what they're doing. Like that doesn't matter to me at all. Like it's just being around them and sharing that time, sharing that space. And I don't care if you can't chop an onion to save your life. I don't care if you burn every meal you make, you know, I'll help. Like I'll be right there. Like it's not about that. It's about in between the moments, like in between the chopping where you catch a glance over there and the music's going and you're like, yeah, this is my person. Dang, we getting lovey-dovey today. We getting lovey-dovey. Just say pants off now. Yeah, exactly. Yours was your mom for sure, but definitely thankful for it now that I'm older. Yeah. Yeah, see, we get it from our parents. We get it. If they ingrain it in us at a young age, yo, don't leave those dishes out overnight. Nah, you know. And I'm the same way. I'm glad for it now because some of my friends, I'll go to their place and like, yo, and like even if like the rest of the house is clean, if like the dishes are full up, like the sink is like to the brim, I'm just like, it just makes me feel uncomfortable. I'm just like, let me get in there. Let me do those for you. Like I don't know. And I'm not even a clean freak. Like I like spaces that feel lived in. Like I don't need it to be spotless. But like the kitchen and the sink, like for me, that's got to be the one where it's like, yo. And I guess it makes sense. It's like that's where our food goes. Like that's where. So yeah, that I don't like. I always I got that from my dad. So it's cool that you got that from your mom. You know, we get those pieces from our parents. But yeah, we got lovey-dovey today. Cooking with a significant other. Like if you haven't done that before, yo, life changing. But yeah, I haven't dated a woman who genuinely enjoys cooking, so I'm excited to see what that is like if it ever happens for me, because I don't know what that would be like. But like I said, I love cooking, and I love cooking with people, and I love cooking with my person, and they've always just not been about it. Like they enjoy it when we do it, but like it's rare. So like to be able to do that consistently, and just picture like having a glass of wine while you're just unwinding for the day. You know, I don't know. It's something. It's just something, and I guess a big part of it is like I saw my parents doing it when I was younger. Like they would cook with each other, like every once in a while, and it was so lovely to me that like, yo, they had, you know, five of us running around, five little kids. They'd be working two or three jobs at a time, like in their like, but they'd still make time, and they would, you know, they would cook with each other, even if it was just 20 minutes, half hour here and there. You know, my mom would make this while my dad would make that. You know, might make the side dishes or whatever it is. It was just like, yo, that was so beautiful. It was like a specific time, and it's so tough to. We all are busy. We all have like our own lives, but like for some reason that dinner time, that cooking time, for me is just a beautiful excuse to just slow it down and spend time with each other. And even if you're not getting into the deep topics, even if you're not like, it's not romantic, you're just trying to feed your kids, like that's still beautiful to me. Then like you have that time, and like that's important for kids to see too. Like I remember like that ingrained on me. That's why I like it to this day. Is like I remember distinctly different times in different houses where like my parents would be in the kitchen like cooking dinner, and like I said, it didn't happen often because we were really busy. Like we, a big family and life, and jobs and everything. But when it did, it really stuck with me. It stayed with me. But yeah. You're not a big fan of cooking, but I can and will. But I don't mind being a sous chef either. Tell me what you do, and I tell me what to do. I got you. Okay, bet. I'm not mad at that. I bet I can make it like cooking at least a little bit. Um, no, yes, and it's like, it's not even about like the cooking for me. Like I said, it's just the experience of it. It's just like, yo, it's a Tuesday evening. It's just like, I don't know, like there's an inherent like romance to it that like I live for. Like there's nothing. It's just different. Like I can't explain it. Like if you've never experienced it, it's just like we're in that very much of like that DoorDash culture now, and like that like fast food, and maybe we always have been, or I don't know, but I just know from experience, like a few of the women I've dated, like it was just more like takeout like situations, and there's nothing like it's just not romantic. Like it's cute. It is cute when it's like, hey, can you pick me up something from Arby's or a Mexican place, or like, can you bring takeout with you? Like that's cool. Like, don't get me wrong. I have the days where like I'm not feeling like cooking, so like, hey, I'll bring us home some pizza, and that's romantic. It is cool, but like it feels so one-dimensional. Like there's something primal and intimate and seductive almost like about being in the kitchen together and cooking food and hearing the sizzling and hearing the, maybe you got the wine going, maybe you got the music going, chopping and like moving around together and like, navigating space together. It's almost like a dance. Yeah, I feel weird saying that. Like it feels almost cheesy, but like when you're getting takeout and you order it, you pick it up, or they bring it to you and you just pop it out, that's fine. It does the job, I guess. But when you're in the kitchen together, it doesn't matter. Even like half the time, it doesn't even have to be great. Like I like to pride myself. I can cook pretty well, and I'm pretty proud of a lot of the dishes I make. We're gonna eat well. Not everything's gonna hit. Like not, I'd say about 90% of what I make is real good. 5% of it is like decent, and then 5% is like, nah, that's not gonna make the rotation. But it doesn't even matter. Like it just doesn't. That's the one thing I wish I could explain. Is like it doesn't matter. You know that phrase? It doesn't matter what we do as long as we're together. Like that's what cooking is for me. It doesn't matter what we make. It doesn't matter if we burn it all. It doesn't matter. It just, if we burn it, we'll just order some pizza. Like, it's just such a crucial part of like my life. Like, I spend hours in the kitchen sometimes. Like, throughout the week, it's like one of the main things I do. Like, I don't order takeout much, outside of work and hanging out with the dog and reading and making music. Like, cooking is like, and going to the gym, I guess, but like cooking is up, like it's right there at the top. So it's like, if it's a big part of my life, I want it to share it with like whoever I'm with. And I don't know, it's just romantic, and it can be seductive. It's like, it's one of those, like, you can easily, like, Marisol, those I want you situations, like those times. Cooking, it's like you're in close quarters, it's warm, you're moving around, you're tasting things, you're like, feeding each other, fingers to lips kind of situation. It's like, there's no better time than like those I want you moments than that. It's like, you just put in the food in the oven for 45 minutes, like that look, like, I want you, like, all right, we got 45 minutes, pants off. Like that is just like, there are so many, and it's like, I don't know. You don't get that with takeout. You don't get that. There's no waiting. You just, all right, I'll be back. I'll pick it up. Come in, I'll drop the bag down, like we eat. It's just like, it's just, I don't know. I guess I'm waxing poetic about it, but like, it's a big thing for me, just because I love it so much and I want it to be in my future. It's like, just those moments of like I said, you don't even have to like cooking. Just like, be willing to be the sous chef, or willing to be around while I'm cooking. Like, some of my favorite memories actually are like people being around me while I'm cooking. Like, you don't even have to cook with me. Just be around. If you want to, like, if you're like, want to be on your phone or like on the computer or like in the kitchen while I'm cooking, like that works for me. Like, I don't know, it's just like very intimate space for me. And to have the person I love or care about sharing that space with me is like exactly that little, being comfortable around somebody. Like, if you're doing your own thing, that's cool. Like that, but I feel connected. I feel more connected to that person than if they're just not even there. Like, if they don't want to show up for the kitchen, they don't want to be. And I'm not saying every time. I'm just saying every once in a while, it's just nice to have my person around while I'm doing something I love, And I don't know if this makes any sense, but I don't know. Even coming up with the week's menu together as it is, or together is it? Just being near each other and spending time together. Yeah. Oh, like, man, you about to make this a 4-hour episode. Yo, I live for planning meals. Like, that is something. It's like, it's so much fun for me to like daydream about like meals I'm gonna make and like what I'm gonna cook, and then like, so I think about it, and then I go to the store, like the grocery store, and like I love going to the grocery store with my headphones in, and I listen to music, and I like pick out my ingredients, and I try like a new vegetable. I'm like, and I just scan the aisles. I'm like, I never had that before. And I try it, and then I go home and I put it all together, and there's my puppy. And like I said, I'm at the point now where I do it enough where usually everything tastes, it's at least edible, at least like good, not great maybe, but like at least good. So usually whatever I put together, I'm confident I can make it like taste good. But like, I love the whole process of it. I love the whole like coming up with the idea. And if like, I've never had a relationship with somebody who like wants to do that with me. Like, and I don't necessarily need it, but it would be nice. Like, it would be nice to have somebody who's like excited about it as I am. We're like, hey, what should we make tonight? Even if it's only like once or twice a week or once a month, I don't know. Just like, hey, you want to make something? Like, I found this recipe. Should we try it? Or should we, You know, you don't even gotta go grocery shopping with me. I'll pick up everything. You know, if you want to come too, that'd be fun because quality time. But like, I don't know. It's just a beautiful. It's just like one of my favorite ways to share love, and it just kind of in the past. It's just it feels like it's been missing. Like it just feels like that's a big part of my love language that has not been like returned or answered or like understood. You know, which it's kind of not sad, but it's just like makes me wistful. It's like I want that. You know, I want I want that. It's just nice to me. It's just nice. Um, but I don't know. I don't know. Bend over, kind of, and sit up on like yeah, 100%. See, 100%. You get it. Like there's just an inherent like intimacy, like the music soft and going. No, I painted the picture like a few times, but it's something you don't get when like I don't know. I guess you could get it on while the DoorDash person is. You got like okay, we got 11 minutes till our Jimmy John shows up. I guess that makes sense too, but it's just so romantic to me. It's so intimate. It's like it's almost like on the same level like my bedroom's my intimate, like that's my space, that's my like if I let you into my bedroom, like you know, very few people like ever end up in my bedroom. Like it's just my space, like my personal, that's where I feel comfortable and safe, you know. So very few people have ended up in my bedroom, but like my kitchen is the same way. It's like my kitchen is like if we had like this is weird, but like in our homes, if we have like rankings of like our most intimate spots, you know, my bedroom is number one. Kitchen is number two for me, even above bathroom, like even above like the bath. Like the kitchen is number two, where it's like, you know, that shared kitchen time. I've had so many good like I think it's just growing up and like a big part of it is growing up in like just sitting around while my dad's cooking or sitting around while my mom's like making cookies or just and I have this distinct memory of like being at the old house when I grew up, being maybe 5 or 6, and my mom was playing country music on this little radio on the table, and I was just sitting watching her cook, and my brothers were doing like running around, and she would be making cookies, and every once in a while she would like hand me one of the warm cookies. Well, my brothers weren't around, so they didn't get the warm cookies. You know, I was there. I got the warm cookie, and you know, I was sick, so I ate way too many, and I got sick, obviously. But it's just like little moments, little warm moments, and like I have countless. I'm so thankful that I have like countless memories like that of just associating kitchen time with like being close to somebody and being, you know, and also the conversations you have in the kitchen rival any conversations you have anywhere. Like I say, probably the okay. So if we're talking, you can and will have it. Yes, I appreciate that. Yeah. When I make something new and I don't like it, the girls at work is who will eat it. Yeah. See, there's always someone who wants it. Like there's always someone. What do you like to make? I know you said you're not really like a big fan, but like, was there like a dish that you enjoy making, or like your go-to? Um, but yeah, like in terms of like where like the best conversations happen, number one, would be late night in bed, in your bedroom, falling asleep, talking with your person or whoever. If you have a slumber party, your friends, whatever. That's like when the true stuff comes out, when it's like 1, 2 a.m. or late, and you can adjust that time for whatever your waking hours are. But like that late night in bed, those conversations, epic. Number two, parked car. Late night, usually late night, parked car conversations. like amazing. Rival, they're up there, like you getting those are great conversations. Um, Number 3, anytime you're sitting on the floor conversations. If you're on the floor and somebody else is on the floor, that's gonna be a great conversation. Automatic. As soon as you start elevating off the floor to a seat, the conversation drops. All right, I'll make a chart. The higher the seat, the less quality of conversation. So if you're on the floor, prime. But I'd say number 4, in the kitchen. Kitchen conversations, it's like your guard is down, there's no pressure. Like, it's not like it's usually somebody is doing something so someone's making something, or getting something, like, so there's never that like pressure of like direct conversation, but like that's how it flows. There's no pressure. One of you will be cooking and the other will just be talking about something, and you'll get into like, and it's just so comfortable and it's comforting, and it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I also, like, now I'm getting older and I want kids. Like, I want that for my kids. I want that same kind of, not same, but like I want my kids to have that kitchen to be a safe space for them. Obviously I want the whole house to be a safe space for them, but I want them to feel warm and invited in the kitchen, and like there's always a seat for you, no matter what. Even with the pull out one from the other room, there's always room for you. I remember, we'll talk about Elle. We'll have a whole thing for her too, because she was a big part of my life. But she had a son, and one of my favorite things, man, when he was about 4 years old, we got into this mode of like cooking with each other. Like, he would help me cook, and a lot of times I'd be making a meal, and like he would come up, he'd bring his little stool up, and he would plop it right beside me, and I wouldn't have him chopping things, but like he would help me like stir things and put things places, and drop them in the water, and like that made my heart feel so full. Was like when he would, like, the fact that he felt comfortable enough to be around me in the kitchen, but B, to like enjoy it and to like want to, like, it would be one of those things like I'd be like, hey, we're gonna cook, or I'm gonna go start dinner. He'd be like, and he would light up, and I would go in and start getting the stuff out, and I would hear the little stool come across the kitchen, and he would climb up, and he'd be my little sous chef for the day, and I'm getting like happy and warm just thinking about it, because like that is so crucial for me. Is like I said, the kitchen is my safe space, so like to have people I care about enjoy it with me is like, it fills a specific part of my heart that I can't really explain. But I remember we'd make mac and cheese, and he and it was just so much fun. And like, and also the thing about like kids is like, he's gonna be brutally honest. Like, he's gonna tell me if he likes something, and he's gonna tell me if he hates something. Even if it's like, if it's unsolicited. Like, I didn't ask him if he liked it. He's just gonna say, "Hey, Chris, ew, that's gross." Like, I'm like, bro, that's kind of rude. I'm not done yet. I haven't spiced it correctly. Give it time. I've gotta. But yeah. And like, also, that's because you're eating a unseasoned zucchini, my dude. Like, that's not gonna be good. But yeah, just like, I want that for my kids. Is like I know that's just one example, but there were several times where like I would just, you can't really, like, even if you go in with a bad mood, like eventually, like if you're cooking, it's like I said, it's like therapy, it's like meditation. It's like you're gonna you're providing this meal for yourself, so it's like you're gonna nourish yourself, but like just the simple act of preparing it, like, it's like meditation. It like puts you in a good space. And I don't know, I want to cook with my kids. When I have kids, like, if you're just tuning now and I'm saying this, you probably think I have kids, but like, I don't have kids. I have a dog, and a neighbor cat that stares at me sometimes. That's the extent of my child rearing. But But yeah, there was just nothing better than the excitement on his face. And he was like 4, like I said. Like him just being excited to join me in the kitchen was like, yo, that like solidified it for me. It was like that. I want that. You know, when obviously it sucks that, you know, I didn't just stay in his life like that. That's another regret of mine. But like when I have kids, or if whoever I'm with has kids, whatever the situation is with kids involved, like I want them to feel just invited and warm. I want to be that dad that like I'm cooking and they're like, hey dad, what you cooking? You know, I'm like, hey, we're cooking some chili tonight. You want to help? Like, yeah, sure. Or no, I don't really want to, but you know, I'll sit around and do my homework while you're cooking, or you know, little things like that. Or I'll be the one that like I can't bake cookies very well, but what's something I'm good at making? Like sweet. I'm good at brownies, so I'll make some brownies and I'll give them the fresh brownies out, like the warm when they're gooey. I'll slip them whatever kid is with me in the kitchen. I'll slip them some of the fresh brownies, so they'll have that, you know. And there'll always be music. I'm always playing some music, so you know, it's just I don't know. I'm like that Italian grandma, like just I don't know. My bad. My brain is. I'm getting into like the mindset of cooking, and it makes me happy. Especially if it burns because you went too long. Yeah, yeah. But like I said, that's just when you order a pizza. It's like you order a pizza and you got a smile on your face. You know, that's when the pizza tastes the best. Afterward. White people's tacos, taco salads, the spicy Asian noodles with chicken, bacon wrapped chicken stuffed with jalapeno. Ooh, and cream cheese. Ooh, that sounds delicious. I think I'm just also getting hungry. Parmesan crusted chicken with zucchini. Just some of the top ones that are on repeat. Yo, actually, all those sound delicious. I like how you said you started with white people's tacos, because I know exactly what you mean by white people's tacos. I think we all have some version of white people's tacos. That's so funny. But no, that all sounds delicious. Yo. That bacon wrapped chicken stuffed with jalapenos and cream cheese, that sounds fuego. Like, that sounds delicious. But yeah. No, those all sound like that whole lineup, man. That sounds like that's a good rotation. That's a really good rotation. One of these days maybe we'll have a cooking stream and I'll do some cooking. I don't know, but once again, like that's like I said, it's really intimate for me. Like that's like I don't know if I want to share that side, just because like that's real personal to me. And I know it might sound weird because I know like everybody, like a lot of people like cooking streams, but like something about like inviting someone to my home and like cooking for them or cooking with them, like that's so intimate to me. Even with friends, like it's like, you know, that there have been several times in my life where like the kitchen table is like the place you congregate. You know, after school you drop your books down and you like, you know, you're around the food like you're a hungry kid. You know, you're waiting for the food to show up, right? And so the best conversations, and even when I was in college, you know, I had spots where like my friends, we'd meet up and one of us would make dinner and we'd just hang out in the kitchen and just chat and drink and talk. And, you know, I remember my college dorm, like I've talked about this before, but like we had this little separate kitchenette area and I had some of the best conversations in that kitchenette. Something about like I said, it's just the comfort of like someone you care about cooking, and you're just chatting, you're just talking. And I had so many good late night conversations, you know, eating some cold quesadillas just because like we be talking and we're not eating. It's just like nothing better than that. Nothing better. So that would be like, that's up there. That's a top 3 love language for me. You make guacamole? Yo, I'm gonna need that recipe, or we're gonna have to make it together sometime or something, because I made some guacamole and it's like average. It's alright, but it ain't good. I mean, it's like it's good, but it's like not great. You know, it's like I'll be honest. Like I could probably buy store bought better than the stuff I make, and I won't say that about a lot of things. But like guacamole, I need that. I'm gonna need some secrets or some tips. And I know it's like not too many ingredients either, but it's just I don't. My combinations are off. My quality of my ingredients, I don't know. I don't know, man. It's just not it. But it's fun to make. I put it in my little molcajete. I just smash it all up, and um, it's fun to do. But like I said, it doesn't always taste like that great to me. So, but that's another thing though. I'll be honest about my food. Like I don't like, you know. I'm not saying I'm the best cook of all time ever. Like I have entertained the idea of like I really wanted to go to cooking school growing up. Well, not growing up, but like right after high school. But like I was too fascinated by science and like astronomy and physics. But then like now I'm older, like I've entertained the idea of like going back and taking cooking classes or like enrolling at a school like overseas. Like even like if I could, you know, like I feel like I could, I don't know. But the thing that stops me is I don't want to lose my love for it. You know, if as soon as you start, that's why a lot of my hobbies, I keep them hobbies for a reason, and I don't try to pursue them monetarily. Like, is because I don't want to lose my love for it. You know, it's such a big thing for me that if you start throwing in like the regular aspects of life, you know, oh, like now I have to use this to like pay rent. You know, I got to use these skills to, you know, make a client happy or make my customers whatever it is, you know, or make my chef the like appeased. Nah, like that I would lose my love for it, and I don't want to do that. So that was a big reason why. But I do I love cooking for people, and I would love to like one day maybe like just do a small maybe catering like just something like a side little thing where I can cook for people and you know, yeah, I would do that. Cuz I'm not going to lie, I love one thing I love to cook, but I also love cooking shows. I love like my mom got me on those when I was young. Like she loved cooking shows too. So I used to watch those like every Saturday morning with her. And now, so to this day, I watch all of them. I watch all the like PBS cooking shows. I watch all the Netflix and Hulu travel cooking shows. Like I'm a big, like I've talked about before, like Anthony Bourdain, like, you know, Andrew Zimmern, like travel show, like Travel Channel, like Samantha Brown, excuse me, like all the travel and cooking shows. I'm all about it. Chef's Table on Netflix, if you haven't seen that, that's one of my favorite. I've seen every episode like 3 or 4 times. It's just one. That's like my favorite. Probably my favorite. If you can classify it as a show, it's my favorite series. I think of anything. But so that really, I don't know. That's just to say that like food and cooking is a big part of my life, and I don't know. I like it. I like that we can exist. I like that we can exist in a world that we as humans can cook for ourselves. And it's like I said, there's something primal about it that like I don't try to understand too much, but it's like the fact that you go, I mean, even like I don't even go like that far. I'm not like out there hunting and gathering, you know. I'm not going like all wilderness. I'm literally going to the Publix and picking up my groceries, or like the butcher shop or whatever it is. But like, you know, you collect your supplies, your ingredients, and you go home, and like with the knowledge you have, you like prepare it and you cook it, and then you feed yourself. Like that's so, it's like it really forces me to slow down. Like, and not that I'm a go person, I'm very laid back, but like those moments where it's like it forces you to like your body, whether your mind is telling you or not, your body is like showing you what to do and what it needs. Like it, you know, I don't know if that makes sense, but it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. You're Mexican, but man, carne asada prep is too much sometimes. That all the toppings. Sometimes I just need quick 15-minute white people tacos. Yeah, 100%. I can show you better than tell you. Okay. Okay. Marisol, I'm down. I'm down. I would be down to learn the ways of your guacamole. 100%. And no, you're right. That the 15-minute white people tacos, nothing wrong with that at all. Like, don't get me like. I'm a big fan of. How can I be that big of a fan when I am losing? I'm blanking on the word on the. My favorite tacos of all time, tacos al pastor. I get them everywhere. I got them in literally every city I go to with like a big typically like Hispanic population. Like for instance, like in Mexico City, like I was all about tacos al pastor. Like that's my favorite. Like I love but like making it myself. It's not. I don't. It ain't. The flavors ain't it for me. Like I don't do it right. I don't have the knowledge. I don't have the, I need an abuela to. I need to like sit down with an abuela and just like watch her cook it and replicate it. Papito, that's enough. But yeah. So I get that. Like I'm a ride or die like al pastor fan, but sometimes you just need those 15-minute like them white people tacos, And I guess I'm mixed, so if y'all don't know out there, I'm mixed. My pops is black, my mom is white, and not that it matters, but like it's just I guess it's a good time to mention that. I don't know if people care, but Hey Nashville, come here. You alright? That was way too many sounds for what that warranted. You alright? Did you hit you something on the way down? Calm down, buddy. Be friends. But those white people tacos, they slap sometimes, with the ground beef and that seasoning, throw that Ortega seasoning in there. With that shredded cheese and whatever topping you like. If you like the lettuce, you like the onions, you like the tomatoes, that salsa. Salsa rojo or salsa verde. That's a. Hey puppy, that's enough. I'm almost done, buddy. I'm almost done. We'll snuggle. But yeah, I could talk about cooking all day. And I know we started about love language, but it always steers into cooking for me. I don't know why. I guess we don't need to do a love languages episode now because we just went through it. But primarily physical touch for me is that's 100% my love language. Well, not 100%, but like let's say like a good 75% of it. Also, that's a good segue. I wanted to bring this up way back in the day, but like there's a specific. Okay, so when I was on dating apps, I would see like a lot of women like what they're looking for in a relationship is like a good. They always phrase it like a good roast to romance relationship, or like they always want someone they can roast. Like, yo. And if you're like this, that's cool beans. But like, I never understood that. Like, I've never been that way. I've never wanted to roast, like, or make fun of the person I'm with. Like, I get it. It's like in jest and joking. Like, I get that. Like, don't get me wrong. I love when I see couples like that where they're like roasting each other, and it's like it's funny to me. But like, that's not my natural default. Like, and I've noticed it so many times on like different like profiles of like they want like somebody, and maybe it's just code for like somebody who is like doesn't take themselves too seriously and like can joke about anything, which I am. Like that's me to a T. But like they phrase it as like roasting, and it's like I'm not out here trying to roast the woman of my like, you know, the woman I love, you know. And I get it, it's lighthearted, but like, what do you guys think about that? Like, are you looking for someone in your relationships? Do you want someone you can roast? You know, I'm not trying to like. I know I'm taking it to a different place. I know like a lot of times it's not that serious, Chris. I get it, but like, it's just like, and maybe it's just like maybe it's old fashioned. I don't know, but it's like I'm not trying to like. For me, it's like a line. It's like, I mean, I'll talk about anything, but like, in terms of like roasting somebody, it's like I'll roast my friends, but like if it's somebody like I really care about, like I'm gonna build your self esteem up. I never even want to put it in your mind that like this is something I think about you. Like even if it's a joke, I don't want you to even like have that like insecurity in the back of your brain somewhere deep that like, oh he, I mean when we were roasting each other, he said this about this, right? Or this about that. You know, I never like, that's never my mentality. I'm never out here just like, that's not my humor. I just don't, I'm not a roaster. Like I'm not like, I feel bad. I don't watch roasts because they make me feel bad. I don't like when people are like even slightly mean to each other. Like maybe it just speaks to me, but like so many of the women on the dating apps want like, they mention specifically like someone they can roast. And like, yo, I don't know. What's the take on that? What's the take? That's just my take is like, I'm not trying, like, the woman I'm seeing, like, I'm not trying to roast her. You know, I get it. Like, I joke. I'll joke all day. Like, I'm silly. I'm here for a silly goose time. Like, as Chris D'Elia says, you know, I'm here to, I'll be silly as heck. But like, I'm never the one to like, I'm not going to roast you. I'm not going to flame you. I'm not going to like, even for a second, make you doubt your place in my heart. Like, and I know I'm taking it to a deep level. I know it's just fun. It's just jokes, but like jokes have a way of not being jokes real quick. Right. And it's like, especially with the person that I care about the most, or the person that's like, you know, it's just, and if that's what you're looking for, I get it. Like, that's so cool. I've seen it and it works. And it's like, I actually really adore the couples that like, that's their relationship is like, they roast each other, but they also love each other, and you know it. Like, that's cute. Don't get me wrong. That's cute. But like I'll tease you and I'll play and like I'll be playful and I'll like, I'm a big teaser. Like, I'll tease you, but like I'm not gonna roast you. You know, like there's a big, like for me, there's a big delineation between roasting and teasing. You know, I'll tease you all day. Like, teasing is fun. Teasing is like, but from my teasing, it comes from a place of like, it's like, you know, you're always going to feel safe with me. You're always going to feel confident that I care about you. You never for a second think, oh, does he really think that? But mi abuela would love to show you. Yo, no lie. I would love that. She wants to show us how to make tamales soon and sopa. Oh my goodness, yo. Now tamales, I've been sleeping on tamales because I just am not. I've had a few tamales that have been just smacked, but like some tamales I've had is just not great. But like I would love to learn how to. That's so awesome. You should, yo. If you end up like, let me know that you're like, that's cool. Still trying to perfect my salsa verde. I hear like kids when you hit the girl or guy you like, low key would probably make me cry, honestly. Joking around is different than roasting, so like don't pick on me. Yeah, 100%. That's I hope I'm not too glitchy for you, but 100%. Like, joking and roasting are two different things, and like I didn't know if that was, but I see it all the time. Like on like, I guess maybe I know dating apps aren't like real life. I get it, but like I see, you know, it's constant. It's like everybody like, yo, I want someone I can roast, or someone who can roast with me and still love me. Like, it's like, if you mean joking, I'm all for it. Like, I am all for it. But when you say roast, I know what you mean. You mean like that different kind of like, you know, I'm not about it. Like, I'm not about, like, I don't want the person that I care about. Like, I don't even roast I guess it's because my family, like, me and my family, like, we joke, like, we are never serious. Like, we haven't, honestly, we probably have not had any serious, like, real serious conversations. Like, our whole text threads are just like memes and things. It's like we have maybe one serious conversation maybe every few months. Everything else is just like quotes and things like that. But like we're never roasting each other. Like that's just how like I really respect my family and my parents for like I guess raising us this way. And not that it's wrong to do it the other way, but I just love the way we did it. It's like there was never roasting. It was never like making anybody like we never put anybody down or like intentionally like made someone feel some type of way with our words. Like that's just not a way I show love. Like it's just not for me. Like if you roasted me, like that doesn't make me feel loved. That doesn't make me feel like we're closer. That makes me feel like, why are you saying these things? Like, do you mean this from at some level? Like on some level, do you mean this? And like, it just gets too. To me, it's just like it's like I don't know. It's just not. I don't know, but I know like this is just my mindset. Like I know there are so many people out there who have that's what they want is just like they want someone that they can feel completely comfortable just like saying whatever and knowing that this person will say whatever back to them and it doesn't affect them that way. But like me is like I feel so bad if I even like start to roast somebody and like they start feeling like kind of sad. Uh-oh. Did I freeze on there? I don't know. Like the stairs tease you did last time when I fell up the stairs. Okay, was that too far? I hope that wasn't too far. That's like the teasing I'm talking about. That's like I, you can tell me if it was too far. I'm sorry. I would never want you to feel some type of way. It was just like, to me, that's lighthearted. Like, I'm joking, but also I'm going to make sure you're okay. Like, I'm not going to, it's like the fact that I know you're all right and like it didn't, like allow me to tease. But like I said, if it's too far, tell me and I will stop. I won't say that stuff anymore. But like, I'm not going to roast you about like, I don't know, whatever it is. Like, I wouldn't, roasting just is not, I don't know. Maybe I'm missing out. Maybe that's what maybe I should, no, I know. I know in my core that's not what I want. Like that's one thing I'll never be is fake. Like I'm never gonna try to impress somebody with something I'm not, So, but yeah, I'd be curious to know if anybody out there is like, if you out here you like to roast people, if that's your thing, let me know why. Tell me. It's the thing. I'm endlessly curious. And that's one thing I've just seen so many times over the years is like, is that as common as I think? Like in relationships, are people just roasting each other? Cause like I said, I date once every maybe 5 years, once every 3 years, something like that. Like I don't date often. Like, and then when I do, it's like with a person I feel safe with and comfortable and I guess I just gravitate toward people who don't roast me. Like if you roast me, like honestly, if I go somewhere and like even where like if I connect with you and like I feel okay with you, like and if you start roasting me, like it's probably gonna change the dynamics, And I have thick skin. Like I don't have an ego, so it's like it's not really like maybe depending on what you say, it could hurt my feelings. I'm not gonna say here and say I'm not like impervious to words, like But depending on how you do it, if you're like lighthearted and roasting me, like it might hurt my feelings. But I'm just like, why are we doing this? Why is this like? Where is this coming from? What is this? Is this genuinely like funny to you, or is this like a coping mechanism? Like then I start thinking about it too much. I'm like, what's the backstory here? Because it's like, if that's how your family showed love, that's cool. Like I'm not here to shame anybody or make anybody feel That's not, maybe that's just how your family shows love or how you show love. Like, that's cool. But it's just not how I was raised. So now it's foreign to me. So now I'm like, I'm not out here trying to roast nobody. Um, but I think um, I think it looks like it's freezing up over here. So I'll probably have to call it because it has been almost 3 hours. But no, it wasn't too far. Okay, good. Because I would be the one to laugh first and make sure you're all good. Yeah, I know. I'm very much like, are you good? Like, are you like, I'm very like, I'm not out here. I don't know. I don't know. It just seems so. I don't want to say negative, but like roasting seems like so. What's the opposite of building somebody up? I guess tearing them down. But like, even if you're lighthearted, it's like not going in the right direction for me. It's like, for me, the person I'm with, in any, it can be a big interaction, a small interaction. The person I'm with, I'm like, yo, I'm always like, as far as I can help it, I'm gonna try to build my person up and like hype them up. I'm the hype man. I'm gonna hype you up. I'm gonna be like, yo, you know, you look amazing in those jeans, or oh my goodness, like, you cut your hair, you look beautiful. I'm never like, oh, like, why'd your hair makes you look like, you know, that old girl from Incredibles. Like, I never like, that's just messed up to me. Like, even saying that right there just made me feel bad for the like the person, like, even just the imaginary girlfriend I just had right there. I feel bad. I'm gonna have to apologize to her for dogging her haircut like that. Even if she does look like what's her face from The Incredibles? With the bowl cut, Edna Mode. Even if she does, man, I don't see it like that. I'm gonna hype her up. But yeah, I don't know. That just was in my brain. It's like, roasting and joking. You're right, Marisol. Roasting and joking are two separate things for me. Like, if you want to joke, man, I got jokes for days. Y'all see me. I'll be out here talking to, like, I can talk to myself for 3 hours and just joke. So, let alone with another person with their own ideas and thoughts and humor, I could joke for days. But roasting, that's a different thing. Like, roasting is like, I'm not trying to come at somebody's self-esteem like that. Cause like, I got thick skin and I got no ego, like, or like a pretty, like, my ego's not like that big, right? So I like to imagine I could take it pretty well, but like, not everyone's like that either. I don't know. It's just too much thinking. I don't show my love by roasting. I roast you some pork. I roast you some food. That's how I roast. I roast you some dinner. If we talking about that kind of roast, I'll roast there. I get you a pot roast with some veggies, some carrots and potatoes. That's the kind of roast. I'll roast you that way. But yeah. All right, y'all. It's about that time. It looks like it might even be. Oh, it got kind of dark, huh? It might be freezing up on you guys, so I apologize. It's probably just the connection. It's after 3 hours. It might just be overheating or whatever. I don't know technology. I don't know. I just show up and take naps. But yeah. I'm gonna get out of here. Think about some love languages. I'm probably gonna think about this roasting thing for while I'm cooking, because tonight I'm gonna make my speaking of food, today, you know how you have those comfort foods? One of my big comfort foods is my mom makes this like really, really delicious flank steak. Like, this is like Italian style with like tomatoes and peppers, and it, like, the sauce is just to die for. Like, I know it's like the basic ingredients sound boring, but like when you put it all together, some magic happens in the oven. But it's like this tomato sauce, like braised steak, and it's amazing. And I called her up like maybe a year and a half ago, and I was like, Ma, I know I'm at work, but like, can I get the recipe for that? Because I'm craving it. Like, and this is the first time I made it by myself. Because like, usually I just go over to her spot and grab it. Um, but roasting just isn't the vibe. Yeah, okay. I'm glad someone else, like, I thought I was the weird one for thinking that. Like, maybe I was like, maybe I'm just missing out on like, maybe that's like cooking for somebody else. Like, maybe I'm just missing a big part of like a relationship. But I'm like, nah, that's not what I want. I don't want that. Like, I've grown to realize, like, I want that soft kind of love. I want that, like, that comfort. I want that. I've had kind of the chaotic kind of stuff, and like the wild, you know, that where you don't know where you stand with somebody, and it's exciting, and it's like, you know, I've had that. But I want that calm kind of love. It's not just because it's not chaotic doesn't mean it's any less love. In fact, for me, it's like deeper. It's like, for me, there is no greater expression of my love for you than if I feel comfortable around you. Like, if I feel completely at ease and comfortable around you, that is the best expression of love for me that I can even imagine. But I keep going on. I could go for days. I see that it's frozen. I'm sorry, y'all. I apologize. Hopefully you can still hear my voice. But yeah, I'm gonna go make this flank steak. This is my comfort dinner for tonight. I've been craving it. I don't make it quite as good as my mom, but it'll do. It is still really good. Like, it's one of those, like, it's something I would serve to people and like be like, okay, yeah, you're probably gonna like this. But like I said, it's freezing up. I see it. I'll be back hopefully sometime, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. So look out. I want to get back into the mode of streaming regularly, at least a few times a week. Next one, I think we're going to probably talk about A, because like I said, she's real special, and I think she really deserves to have her own episode. So we'll get into, if you're ever curious about my dating history, my romantic life, I guess, then tune into that one. If you don't care about it, that's fine too. I don't blame you for a second. But we'll get into that, because there's some heartbreak involved. There's some love. There's all of it in that one. So next time, probably Tuesday or Wednesday, maybe Thursday, is gonna be about A, because that'll be, it's been a long time coming. So that'll be a fun one. What else? Oh yeah, be looking out for the music. I'm gonna post some new songs hopefully this week. I'm gonna go just real quick and shoot some video for just the kind of mood I'm going for this next project. So keep an eye out. I'm gonna put some music up. Hopefully this week I get a song out, or a song or two on YouTube. Not on Spotify just yet, but I'll put them up on YouTube just to kind of get some music out there, just to get in the habit of putting it out again, and seeing what y'all think. So I'm gonna get out of here. Want the Notebook and Titanic kind of love? Yes, 100%. 100%. I want that kind of love that, like, and honestly, I feel I'll talk about L again. Like, I've had. There's nothing more beautiful, and I'm so glad I've already experienced this one time in my life. There's nothing more beautiful than being so sure of the other person's love for you. Like, there is nothing, like, I'll talk about her one of these days, but like, with her, I never, ever, ever, and the entire time we were together, I never, ever questioned her love for me. And she never had to question mine. Like, it was like you could feel it. Like, it was just, that's the kind of love I look for. Like now that I've had it, I know I don't want any kind of like ifs, ands, or buts. I don't want like I've mentioned this a few times today, so I guess it's important to me, but like, I never want to have to worry about where I stand with somebody, or if they still feel the same way for me, or if they love me as much as I love them. I never want that. I don't want that. I want that Titanic, that Notebook, where it's like, you want me and I want you. I choose you, you choose me, And there's so much safety in that and comfort, and like that's where the true love, I think, for me happens, is like when I get all through that, way through the BS of like, you know, once we decide, hey, you're mine and I'm yours, like not in a possessive way, maybe in a possessive, but like, you know what I mean, It's like, then it's like that's where the beauty comes from, because then you have this level of safety where it's like, then you can, yo, I'm not gonna lie, like I let my freak flag fly when I'm comfortable with somebody. Like I would do all the nasty stuff once I feel safe with you. Like that's just who I am. Um, so that's kind of tangential. I guess I don't know. The tea is hitting me. But I definitely want that calm love. That like where we're secure with each other, we're secure in each other, we're secure with ourselves, so that we can like, you know. I don't want that like I said, that chaotic kind of love. Like I want that calm, like where we calm each other, or like if we're having like bouts of anxiety or depression, like we're there for each other. We're not like, you know, I don't know. I'm saying words now, and I don't know if it makes sense, but like I said, I'm gonna go cook some dinner. I'll be back sometime early this coming week, and new music. I think that's everything. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. Marisol, it was really good to see you in chat. Let me know about them tamales and that guacamole. If you're trying to, I'll be your sous chef. I'll be you and your abuela's sous chef for that one. Because I got no problem. I'll soak up all the information. I'll take them tamales. Ooh, man, I'm hungry. But, all right, y'all. I'm out of here. I will see you next time. Sleep well.